Welcome back to the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy ChrisP. I'm here with my host Trigger. What is up, my dude? Welcome back, brother.
What's going on, dude?
It's going, man. It's going. What a week, dude. I'll tell you what a week. It's been rough.
Yeah, man.
Ooh. So
seriously, it has been something else.
So if you are not living in the state of Texas, we get a couple of listeners from out of town, out of state, actually, out of country even. Texas got hit with a pretty horrible. What would you consider it? Like a weird winter vortex
freeze?
Storm? Like a weird flash freeze or something, man.
Yeah,
it's something that's been unprecedented in Texas, especially our region, like ever. Texas never gets hit with weather like this, and I know a lot of people from around the country, like they've dealt with snow. Other countries have dealt with snow. Upstate countries here in the United States have dealt with it, and we never get snow in South Texas. Maybe like not even an inch, like sleet, like where we make like dirt covered snowmen, and they're really tiny. But it did hit us pretty hard. I know Austin and Dallas and Houston and all the upper states in the mid states of Texas got hit horribly. And I saw a video. Did you see the videos of the college, University of Texas?
Yeah, dude.
Austin?
Yeah,
where
man,
like the floors were like just like the pipes are just busted, like just leaking everywhere, dude. I felt so horrible for some of them kids, dude. Like it was bad, man. And of course, families without electricity. I know there were people here in our specific area that were like fucking almost like a whole week without electricity. Like it was nuts, man. What's going on? Kyle, Robert, Ozzy, what's up, man? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys made it through with what happened with the weather. It's been nuts. I'm happy that everybody's safe. I haven't heard anything really about like a death toll or anything like that, but there's got to be something. There's always problems. I know that I was hearing stuff where people were doing their vehicles in their garage and someone died of like carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I was like, come on, man, like. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. That's not healthy. It's not healthy at all.
I don't think they realized that it was. I didn't think they realized that it was happening until it was kind of like too late, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it like doesn't it like make you sleepy or some shit?
Yeah,
like it doesn't. It sneaks up on you. Like that's why there's been a lot of cases of people that have taken their lives using carbon monoxide and stuff like that. Oh God, Deku is so loud. I'm guessing that's the puppy, huh?
Yes.
Is that the name of the dog? It's all good. But yeah, I'm hoping everybody's good. Everybody that's on the chat with us right now, I'm hoping that if you're living around us and stuff like that, your power's back on and it's not doing rollbacks or anything like that. I ended up getting rollbacks done in my house pretty good. No, it's okay, Audrey. Don't worry about it. He's fine. Dogs bark. It's been a crazy week. A dog bark isn't going to slow us down. Yeah, we ended up having the rollbacks happen to us, Triggs. So we were out without electricity for like a couple hours, then on, and then off, and then on.
I'm just glad that like crazy. You guys got your stuff back, because it was kind of like one of those like, okay, if you guys don't get it, my office is big enough, to where we could just do the show here.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like, oh man, like what are we gonna do? Is Trigger gonna have to be the one to like take over or something like that? And I was like, no, dude, fuck that.
Yeah, we planned.
Like,
we're
fine.
And thank God it worked out in our favor, and everything worked out really good. I was even like kind of like anticipating the idea of, with my kind of luck, I never buy lottery tickets because I'm super unlucky. But I was even thinking like maybe even during the episode, like my shit's gonna get cut. Like knowing my shit, we get rollbacks, and the sun came out today, and I would
cry, dude. I'd be like, fuck.
Nah, man, we're gonna be good. People understand what's up. Even for us to be here is a blessing in disguise. But yeah, this week has been really nuts. So, man, my house that I live in with my roommate, we live in a place that does not have central air and heat. So all we've been using is like standalone heaters.
Oh yeah, the little space heaters.
That sucks. That sucks because those do not work in the large grapped area, man.
So, what was it? Me and Audrey, when we were living in her old place on Dogwood over in Far, she didn't have central air either. So we would use space heaters and like those window units for like heat and and air. Because if not, dude, it would get balls hot in that house.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have that space heater, it would get fucking cold in that house. And even then, like the space heater only really worked for like a room. That was it.
Yep. And then Robert, my boy Robert here, man. Thank God you got your power back on. But yeah, I'm good. Almost survived 4 days without power. Man, that's rough, man. That's
Yeah, my sister
rough.
and Colleen,
Mhm.
same shit, dude. Like no power or internet for like almost 4 days.
And it's real crazy, man, because it's really, really weird. And it's an awkward story, but Trigger knows. I used to casually be homeless when I was running my gym in McAllen several years ago, and I was living in my gym, and I would have
Yeah.
to shower with a water hose for like 4 years, dude. I kind of like roughed it in like the weirdest of ways, and this wasn't too far fetched from what I was doing over there to what I was doing to survive over there, and yeah, it wasn't. I guess for myself, it wasn't too bad, but I know for like regular shit, like this probably was a fucking horrible situation for a lot of people. And then of course, like a lot of people panicked and they did the panic buying at the grocery store and panic buying gas. And I know that a lot of people have been suffering out there. And I know that there's other people too that have been told that they still have to kind of go to work. And then like how do you do it? How do you do it with no gas? Like how do you do it where like if you can't even shower? Yo, what's up, Ren X, dude? How you doing, man? Like, how do you do it with the possibility of not having gas to go to work or with the no water to take at least a shower or something? What's up, D? How you doing, boy?
So for me, it was the gas thing, dude. I actually couldn't get to work yesterday because like there was no gas, and when I got home, I had 0 miles left on my tank.
Yeah,
Like pulling up to my house, 0 miles left. So my
and
dad had to like come with a gas can, give me like a gallon of gas, and I could go to like a gas station and just wait so that I could go get gas.
just to go get gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough, but I'm guessing it's kind of clearing up. I think people were able to get some gas today. I know HEB put up a picture on their Instagram that was like, "Yo, we're coming to save the day," and there was like, of course, the HEB fleet trucks were all set up, ready to go. If there's one thing that Texas has, it has a lot of heart and a lot of people that are willing to help each other. So that's one thing about Texas that I love so much. But it's so weird the way other states were talking about what situations we were going through. Cause it kind of made me feel like when they were talking about us, like they think that we're like almost like that it's all rancho here, man. Like that it's all rancho, like we're all like tribal almost.
Yeah,
And they
dude.
think that we can't survive this kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, like there's been a couple of bad situations for people, but most of the stuff that we see online are like a bigger city stuff. Our area, yeah, we got hit with it, and there's been a lot of areas without electricity, but it was the same thing when we got hit with the hurricane. Like it was almost literally the same. I think myself, I was out of electricity during that for a week and a half to 2 weeks that I didn't have electricity during the hurricane.
Oh
And we
yeah,
ended up
I
just going to
remember
go
that.
stay with my
Yeah, dude.
parents.
I remember that.
Yeah. We ended up just going to go stay with my parents. And I was kind of like it sucks, but the community is very well knit that it sticks together. But I know it's not like that for everybody. So, we don't want to get delved into it very much, but we wanted to try to contribute. So we ended up finding a website that if you're in the comment section, I'm gonna put it up right now. Let me see if I can put this up right because I don't know how to work this too good. Paste. There we go. There it is right there for our Facebook, our YouTube, and our Twitch. These people are putting together a grant that is allowing people who need help fixing their houses. It's going to give you a grant of hopefully up to $300. So if anybody out there is in need of any type of financial assistance, that website, www.ahsti.org/ERGP, are willing to help people out. It's a grant. I mean, dude, free cash if you can get it. I think the maximum up is about $300. Most of the, I mean, we were talking about this. Most of the damage we've seen happen here in the valley has been a lot of like cosmetic to homes, but more like the plumbing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, $300 to fix some plumbing that's an awesome amount of help, man. That is an awesome amount of help. But yeah, we're hoping that everybody out there is feeling good, feeling safe. Um, and now we want to disconnect. That's why we're here. So Trigger, what do we got happening this week in comic book world? What did you read up on? Yeah.
So I think this one kind of just like matters a little bit more to me, if anything. In King and Omega, the two like rival factions of the Wu and the Kure, they finally finished their fight, and it was probably like the bloodiest, like one of the bloodiest endings in a MMA fight I've ever seen.
Nice. So King and Omega is a manga that
it's very Baki. It's kind of Baki-esque. Like if you guys are like not into Baki, like read Kengan Ashura / King and Omega. It's really, really cool.
They do have a Netflix adaptation also.
Yeah, and they have a Netflix adaptation as well. It's super good. 2 seasons. It's fucking amazing. Ozzy, with Last Ronin 2, or the second volume or second issue of The Last Ronin. Our fucking TMNT.
Yeah, it really covered a lot of stuff that was kind of going on in the backstory.
Yeah, dude, it really did
with Michelangelo and stuff like that. I know that a big part of it was the idea of a big part of it was what happened after his brothers passed away, like what he ended up doing. Yeah. So I know that he ended up like leaving to go off and meditate about it, and then like I think that it ended up being like a Frankenstein kind of situation where the villagers of where he was like staying and meditating like attacked him, and he kind of was like, I don't know, like it's very weird to understand. I haven't really got my hands on it. I just know that it dwells very much into what Mikey had been doing since his brothers had died. And I think you heard that it even talks about some of the deaths that happened to his brothers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it shows Raphael's death.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, don't forget.
I know that there's also the continuation of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, there's now just Mighty Morphin, which is also still by Boom Studios, guys. I have yet to pick those up, but it actually shows the new Green Ranger, and it's not Lord Draken.
It's Shredder. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. No, it's this guy, I guess, who was introduced in Go-Go Power Ranger, and I didn't know that Go-Go Power Rangers was a prequel to Mighty Morphin, and I now have to go fucking pick those up, and god damn it.
Oh, that's excellent, but at least they're expanding the universe. I even heard,
dude, it's so fucking good, bro.
Everybody's kind of jumping in on this multiverse shit. Todd McFarlane came out, said that this year is the year of the Spawn multiverse.
Yeah, he finally wants to delve into the multiverse. I know that even Invincible, we finally have a release date, March 25th.
Yeah.
That last trailer was the shit.
That was good.
Yeah, I mean, they even did some multiverse stuff, kind of. In the comic books, there was Spider-Man and Batman, who were shown, kind of, and then. So where do you guys buy comic books? Because I've been wanting to get into it. We have a local comic book shop that we go to, Kaboom Comics. There's also Myth Comics. Those are like the two like major players in our area.
I mean, I guess it all determines RenX where you're living.
Yeah.
But I know that there's also websites that you can get online. If you have an iPhone or an Android phone, you can also get Marvel Unlimited. Marvel Unlimited is a great app. I believe it's a subscription.
I think it's also Comics Unlimited. Like if
there's Comics X, right? Yeah. Comics X Unlimited.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of apps that you can get a huge library of information online.
Yeah.
Me myself, I'm
King in Black. The King in Black stuff was fucking amazing.
My god. But yeah. Hold on. I use Marvel Unlimited for my Marvel reading. DC, I don't know if DC Comics still has their app. Do they?
Yeah.
They still have their digital app. So yeah. I usually just go straight with the apps from there. So I hope that helps RenX. So wait, we got Sal. Sal came up and said, new DC Future State is out. Plus, in the DC movie universe, we now have a Latina Supergirl, which is awesome. I just heard that today.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, our boy Robert in the chat, he usually comes. He has us on our messengers, and he hits us up with all this information when he finds some stuff. And he literally hit us up with that today, and I was kind of like, "Oh, all right, that's pretty cool, man. That's really really cool." Triggs, how do you feel about that?
About what?
The Mexican girl that they chose for the Supergirl.
Just do good. That's all I care about.
It's interesting, man, because it's interesting times what we're living in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think with what was going on with like Starfire in the Teen Titans, what else? Oh yeah, well, dude, I mean, speaking of what we're going to be talking about today, the Melina character in the Mortal Kombat trailer is not an Asian woman anymore; it's now a black woman. So even with that kind of situation, like, what do you do when they change the character's race from the original character? Like when they decide to change the trademark of him or whatnot, or I don't even know how to explain it.
I used to get kind of weedy about it, and stuff like that. But then, like, I kind of was just like, all right, man, whatever. Just do good.
Do good.
Just do good. Don't sully the character, because a lot of these characters that, like, some of them are, putting into, I'm kind of just like, all right, man, whatever. Just do good. It was kind of like Avatar, The Last Airbender, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. They're all Japanese named characters, but, like, they're all Indian, actors. So I was kind of like, all right, man, whatever. Fuck it.
I mean, it's just one of those things, like, you kind of just want it to do well. I mean, there's no way to stop the train that's been going on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. Like, as much as people can complain when they change a ginger character to an African American character or an alien character to a Hispanic. Hey, Danny. Hello. If there's no way for us to stop it, like, we're not going to go out there and people aren't going to protest when a minority character is chosen to play the role of another character. But the table works both ways, man. I don't think it would be appreciated if they took a minority character and made him like a white person or changed it to that. I don't think anybody would be appreciative of that. And that's to me the double standard. Can this lady pull off an awesome Supergirl or Superwoman or whatever you want to call it? Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I believe in everybody. But the idea is, are they doing it only because we want to see that? Like, is that what they're doing? Because if they did it the opposite way, would we accept it the same way? You know what I'm trying to say, Triggs? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like, it does. A lot of people, they always kind of want to stick to certain things being this, a certain way, because, like, trademark features about the character sometimes are very central to that character. Yeah. Like, for me, and dude, I will die on this hill, I do not like who they cast in The Witcher for Triss. Do not like it. Because Geralt was very attracted to her because of the way she looked. She had very pale skin, and he's into that. She had very bright red hair, and he's into that. And, like, she had none of those in the fucking TV show. And I was like, oh, dude, I mean, like, you just fucking ruined, like, one of my favorite ladies in this goddamn franchise. Whatever. And she was also a bitch made character in that fucking, like, the TV series. Granted, like, I think when they showed her, she was still pretty young. So, but, like, even then, she still had a pretty good grasp on her powers. And I was like, oh, dude, and I wasn't a fan of it. But Kyle's right. Kyle's right. Yeah, when they had Idris Elba, play Roland the Dark Tower, and it's true, because I haven't read all of the Dark Tower. I've read some of it, and yeah, those were, like, really, really big talking points. Was that he was a very beautiful man because he was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man, and, like, you kind of take away from those things, when you change a character so drastically like that.
And it's not taken away from Idris Elba as an actor.
No, and that's not. I mean, dude, he's a fantastic actor.
Oh, dude,
we have, like, on many occasions stated how fucking amazing of an actor he is.
Yeah.
He was a beautiful Heimdall. He did so well as Heimdall. And on top of that, Heimdall is Sif's older brother.
Yeah, he's white. He's white, dude.
You know, he's fucking white. But whatever, dude. I mean, he fucking played the part very well. Very, very well. And you know, hey man, whatever, fuck it. You know, Idris Elba's a fucking G. You know,
it's just one of those things. Like that's probably the best way to put it is like looking past the idea of the source material. Like Idris Elba played such a good Heimdall that we really didn't look at it for him being the character that he was portraying from the comic books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since the character in the comic book has always been this like older, big white guy with a big old. He looked like a typical Viking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then for him to be in the comics, but then Idris Elba like literally, like took
made
the
that like he made that character his, dude.
Yeah, man, he took front and center in Thor Ragnarok.
Anyone says, dude, he fucking kills it as Heimdall.
Yeah, in Thor Ragnarok, he played the character not for just the role he is, which is the gatekeeper of the Rainbow Bridge, but he was actually going around saving people, swinging the sword around, doing some cool action scenes. He really played the role very well.
Yeah.
So like the idea of the bait and switch on the race thing, it didn't really matter for that.
No, it didn't.
So now we have
that's kind of like what I was saying earlier, dude. You know, like if you're gonna fucking change the character, fine, dude, change it. Just do good. Do good. Don't fuck this character up.
Yeah.
Because Heimdall is central to like the Thor mythos. Is central to it. So you cannot fuck that up. That's like if you made Odin black and he sucked as it.
I was gonna say, like, do you think it would work if someone took like a War Machine and made him a Hispanic dude?
No, because people can see that. People can see that happening. You know, it'd be like one of those things, like, you know, like, all right, dude, whatever, fuck it. You know, like, I mean, you know, it's like one thing to have Don Shield or even Terrence Howard play War Machine. It's another fucking one to have like Michael Anderson or whatever fuck that guy's name is, you know, play War Machine. You know, or the guy who was in The Office, Daryl or whatever. That fucking, you know, Afro guy. That guy sucks as an actor. You know, he's a funny dude, but he doesn't at all need to play that fucking character.
So like that's always been my one thing is like for a while it's always been this like race game, right? Like a race.
Yeah.
To get characters to get pushed into the forefront. Where our culture, the Hispanic culture, doesn't really push on things like that.
No, it doesn't. And you know,
we don't really care for this idea. I mean, yeah, there's probably, I'm not going to say I'm speaking for everybody, but even me as a person who's invested in comic books and video games and all this stuff, like I don't really get worked up if I don't see enough Mexican representation in comic books.
Yeah.
What I get worked up about is if I don't feel there's enough Hispanic people working in the industry to get us represented.
I think that's fair.
That's where I get upset.
For me, I think it's more about the character, that if you're going to have like a Hispanic character there, then stick to the Hispanic roots. Yeah. You know, have this guy eating a fucking taco and drinking Topo Chico in your panel.
Taco Trigger. That's racist.
Yeah, dude, I don't care.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Well, you know, I'm sure that, you know, there's plenty of fucking black panels or, you know, black characters in panels that are eating fucking watermelon or some shit, drinking.
Yeah, like it's just one of those things. You know, like,
I get that stereotypes exist for a reason and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, dude, like, if you're going to have inclusivity and stuff like that, then, you know, stick to it and, you know, have it right. And, you know, like highlight certain aspects of like the Hispanic culture that like mean something to us, you know, the bright greens, the bright yellows, the bright blues, reds and stuff like that, you know, the whites, you know, have that be, you know, a really, really prominent feature in like in this artwork, you know, because if you're going to do the character, then do the character right. And, you know, like a lot of people are like, oh, dude, Blue Beetle, you know, because, you know, this kid is, you know, a little Mexican kid. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. You know, like Blue Beetle's amazing, you know, like is an amazing character for, you know, for Hispanic kids, but like he gets glossed over all the time.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know that he wasn't the first. He's exactly like almost like a telltale of Richard Rider and Sam, what's his face?
Oh, Sam Alexander. Yeah.
Yeah. Like literally the first Blue Beetle was a white guy who ends up getting killed by Maxwell Lord.
I think so, dude.
Or someone like that. He gets shot and he gets killed by someone who's a really good friend of his. And then this kid ends up taking up the mantle of the new Blue Beetle, Hispanic kid. I mean, it's cool, right? Like again, we see a lot of Hispanic people coming out in television shows nowadays more, that we're not just janitors in the background, that we're not just criminals. Now our characters and our personas are more to police officers, sometimes military guys. Now I'm guessing, what, like politicians maybe? Is there a possibility we can see more Hispanic superheroes?
Actually, Dan Garrett was the first Blue Beetle. He was like the Bronze Age Blue Beetle, and then it was Ted Cord.
And yeah, I don't know anything about Blue Beetle. He never caught my attention.
he's a really interesting character, but he's super glossed over. Super glossed over. You know, like my favorite Green Lantern. It's all right, dude. You know, he's like it's like knowing that that Alan Scott was the very first, you know, Green Lantern. You know, or Jay Garrick was the first Flash. You know, like, unless you really know about the character, you really wouldn't know things about that. That, and, you know, Dan Garrett hasn't made an appearance in comics in, like, I don't know, 60 years. So, yeah. But, you know, Kyle Rayner is like my favorite Green Lantern. Absolute favorite Green Lantern. And he's Hispanic. There's not a single Hispanic thing about him.
No, yeah, not at all. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a Mexican guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
His name isn't even Hispanic.
But you know what? Like, when I read comic books, I don't know if it's just me, but I never look at the race of the person.
Yeah.
I always look at their powers, or like, I look at the size.
I really don't think that people should. I think the most triggered that I ever got when it came to changing a character was with Ironheart. You know, when I thought that she was going to be the new Iron Man, I was like,
It's because they never worked it up. They just threw it. They just chucked it at us.
Yeah.
There was never a build up for the character.
Nothing for this. It was like, you did nothing for this. And, you know, on top of that, now she's just a little black girl. Okay, and she is who exactly? And then, oh, I built an Iron Man armor in my fucking dorm room at MIT. What?
And you know what? You know what was really crazy at that time too? They were doing the Inhuman story with the Terrigen Mist.
Yeah.
And they had just brought up Moon Girl. And they were like, oh, this girl, Moon Girl, is the smartest character in the Marvel Universe. And it was, of course, I think she was like 10 or 11, a black girl. And I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, could they make this work? All right, I get it. You have your Amadeus Cho. He's one of like the top 5 smartest people in the world. Next to Reed Richards.
He's actually top 10. He holds number 7.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Like, he's like up there with like the top 5. Or I couldn't remember the number, but like, you had Moon Girl, and Moon Girl was up there. She, being one of the newest characters that's in the Marvel landscape at the time, ended up being one of the smartest kids in the planet. And I was very like, okay, cool, I get it. And then all of a sudden they introduced Riri Williams, a girl that's 13 or 13, I think 13 at the time when they first introduced her. And now she was like the smartest girl on the planet. Literally almost the same story as that character. Like literally almost the same story as Moon Girl, except Moon Girl just happened to come across the moon rock and took the moon rock and what Devil Dinosaur from the Moon Boy comic book from the back in the day. I don't know if you remember that.
No, because that sounds like a story.
It's a very risque comic. Like it's very rare for anybody to care about it. It dealt with Moon Boy, and Moon Boy was like a caveman who came across this crystal, and it dealt with like strange savage land kind of shit. But everybody knows who Devil Dinosaur is, which is his big red Tyrannosaurus Rex. Right? Everyone knows who that is.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But yeah, Moon Girl ends up coming up, and she's like a genius and stuff like that. She makes like gadgets and stuff like that. But what is it, Sal? I hated Cho as Hulk. Whatever happened in that story arc. Okay, so Amadeus Cho ends up becoming the Hulk because he ends up absorbing the gamma radiation when Hulk is going to go nuclear under the sea. I forgot why though. I forgot why, but he ends up absorbing it, and then he ends up not being the Hulk anymore. He ends up giving it to Amadeus Cho. Amadeus Cho becomes this character known as the Totally Awesome Hulk. And then I think during the Immortal Hulk storyline, Bruce Banner comes back and he ends up taking the powers away from Amadeus Cho. And it ends up making him like casually super awesome Hulk. He's just not as big. He's just a little bit more fit. Does that make sense? I don't know if you remember that storyline.
Yeah, neither do I.
But was it important? No, not at all. It was literally Marvel again trying to tokenize a character by giving it to a minority character. But it was not well accepted. And they knew they couldn't kill off Bruce Banner the way they did with Hawkeye's arrow. So they ended up being like, oh shit, we need to bring him back. And then they ended up just rewriting the stories into more of like a horror-based Hulk comic book line, which is the Immortal Hulk, which is amazing right now. That comic book line is like totally damn amazing. But on the subject of Marvel, I am super excited because I've always been a Thor fan. Like even when they decided to give Jane Foster the Thor story, I wasn't very happy about it at first. But then again, if you go back to reading Thor before that, there was nothing going on that was good with Thor except the Brotherhood storyline between him and Loki, right? Which is that really nice John, which goes into Gore the God Butcher story. That was the only thing that was going good. But they didn't have anything else going on. But when they made Thor unworthy, is when that character got some fucking love, dude. The unworthy Thor comic line was amazing. And then Jane Foster's storyline was good too. Of course, it had its ups and downs, but it was good nonetheless. It played a good factor with the unworthy Thor story. After, what was that one comic book line where Nick Fury tells the truth? What was it? What was it? Come on, Trigger. I know you know this. Original Sin. Yeah, there you go. Original Sin. It was good. I am so excited that in recent comic books they brought back Throg, which is the frog version of Thor, who is this guy. If I'm not mistaken, you're probably gonna have to look this up. Was this man named Steven Williamson? He was a black dude, and he ended up being turned into a frog, and then later on he ended up picking up a chunk of
Simon Walterson.
What it was? Sam Walterson?
Simon Walterson.
Simon Walterson, yeah. He was a black dude.
Yeah.
And he ended up being turned into a frog, and I cannot remember how. But then he ends up being around the battlefield where Thor was fighting someone, and a chunk of the metal fell on the ground, and he picked it up, and it ended up turning him into a frog Thor. And from there on, I was such a huge fan of Throg. Well, right now they're doing an interesting story where they brought back Donald Blake, which is Thor's human form that was created by Odin, kind of like a vessel. But since he's been trapped in this weird kind of Pleasantville situation, he's kind of revolted, and now he's back in our plane trying to take revenge on Odin. And he ends up coming across Throg, and Throg puts a whooping on him hardcore, knocks him out with his little baby hammer. And I was super happy, man. I was super happy to see Throg out there. If you are not reading the Thor comic right now with Donald Blake, you are missing out. And the other one that if you're not reading is called The King in Black.
Oh my God.
If you're not reading that comic,
so good.
You're missing out a lot in Marvel. A lot in Marvel. Triggs and I were just talking about this earlier. In recent comic books, in recent episode, or in the recent volume of King in Black, they just brought back an interesting character that had been missing for a while, right?
A long
while. His name is Captain Universe. And it's very, very crazy the way, man, dude, Captain Universe is such a weird power, dude. He's been all over the place. like the story. I mean, not the story, because like if we go back to it, like Spider-Man is probably one of the most interesting characters that has held on to the Captain Universe story, right? Or the Captain Universe persona. He's even portrayed in the Spider-Man video games, right?
Yes.
And what he's most famous for is for punching Savage Hulk into space. He literally uppercuts the Hulk into space as not Captain Marvel. There's so many captains in this stupid fucking Marvel universe.
Yeah, it's Captain Universe.
Captain Universe, so many of them, man. It just makes me so mad sometimes. But yeah, there's a character that, well, it's not really a character. They explain it super well in this comic book by saying it's sort of like a symbiote. I never thought of it that way.
Well, yeah, because apparently, like that's I guess like what the God of Light is. It's like a symbiote version of the Abyss, or like of the light. You know, because like I mean, you guess you always got to maintain balance and stuff like that. But not just that, dude. You know what I thought was really really interesting was they really really specified about something when it came to Null. They were like, Null is the god of the abyss, but he is not the darkness. The darkness has been there long before Null ever arrived. He just harnessed it. So he is the king of the abyss, but he is not the darkness. And I was like, oh, that's fucking true. And so yeah, like I thought that like little panel was really
What do you think they're referring to?
You know, just like those ideas, you know, like of eternity and you know, the living tribunal, that you know, like there are more cosmic entities than I think that we're aware of at the moment, kind of like the one below all, the one above all, and stuff like that. You wish they would promote
one of these captains. That's such a great comment, man. Yeah, because like, okay, so of course you have your Captain America. In Captain WandaVision, Britain. In WandaVision right now, you have your Captain Monica Rambeau. Then you have Captain Marvel. And then, I mean, right now you're going to have, of course, in the comic books, Captain Universe back. And it's just everyone's Cap. Like, you can't just get away with just calling people Cap anymore. I used to just be like, oh, it's Cap. And then that always meant Captain America. You know what I mean? But like recently.
And you know what
like,
the funny thing is, dude? I found this so funny because I want to say in Civil War II, Captain Marvel, ironically, or Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, she's actually a major in the Air Force, and she outranks Captain America because he uses his army rank. You know, he was a captain in the army, which is super weird because he's enlisted. You know, you don't gain a captain rank as an enlisted. You have to. You're not enlisted if you're a captain. That's an officer rank. Anyway, yeah, and so she was like, hey, you know, like I outrank you, so stow that. And so he was like, fucking fine.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, she pulls rank on him, right?
Yeah, she pulls like military rank. She was like, don't forget, I do outrank you. And like I think he like stows it, right? And then someone kind of comments and he's like, wait, but isn't she a captain too? Like, and so like I think he comments, she's like, she's a major in the Air Force though. And they're like, oh.
Yeah, it's just so weird how many people kind of go with the name Captain and how they've kind of like switched it all over the place.
Yeah.
But now with Captain Universe coming back, that's pretty epic, dude. Captain Universe is there to be the full official protector of the universe.
Yes.
So like, it's a very, very interesting character. But the thing is like, if you go back and you go through a lot of his comic book history, he's kind of jumped around all over the damn place. He's been on like some of the most randomest people as an entity or a possessor, right? It was almost like that. I forgot what that horror movie was where like the person can go in through like people's possession and he's like possessing people like on the go. It was like a movie where like someone was trying to hunt down a serial killer or some type of ghost and they were possessing everybody that the person would walk by. So like it's just this guy, Captain Universe, like would just jump to the most randomest characters that just needed assistance for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like that for a super long time. But it just so happens that it gripped onto one of the most randomest characters
Unexpected.
Dude, super unexpected. It literally gripped on to a almost, if not dead, Eddie Brock, which happens to be the old Venom guy or the old character that was Venom,
Yep.
which isn't old to begin with. The guy's like fucking late 30s, jacked to shit.
Yeah.
Like he's ripped to shit. He's so built, jumping out of buildings and falling without
Dude, and his son is such a fucking G, dude. Because his son is like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna rebel against everyone. Let's burn this fucker to the ground, right? And then he's like, JK, you killed my dad.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. And the person who's speaking to him the entire time, he's like, I can get you out of here, but you need to listen to me. Happens to be Jean fucking Grey, dude. Yeah. So when they were teasing the God of Light, I was like, oh, dude, what if it's the fucking Phoenix Force?
Phoenix, yeah, that's exactly what I thought, dude.
I was like, oh shit, dude, that would be badass. Like, right? You know, it's kind of symbiotic. You know, it chooses a host. You know, it's made of light, you know, essentially, you know, Phoenix, fire, light, you know. Mm-hmm. And like, I was like, okay, like, I can kind of get behind that. You know, it's for fucking ever years old, you know, and sure, okay, I can see that. And then boom, Captain Universe. I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
No. What even tripped me out before that, dude, was yeah, I was, when I was reading it, I was kind of like in the same boat you were. When I saw Jean Grey come out, I was like, oh, you're fucking kidding me. It's the Phoenix. And that's because they had been doing this comic recently where the Phoenix Force was trying to look for a new host.
Yeah.
So they had a bunch of fucking people fighting it out. Like Shang-Chi beat like the Hulk without like fucking moving, or he beat Wolverine without fighting him. Like Black Panther was out there whipping everybody's ass as the Phoenix Force, taking everybody's name and lunches and shit. So for the idea of the ending of the King in Black to come, where a Phoenix Force would come and it would be like, I don't know, like I said, like a Shang-Chi or a fucking Namor, or like some random character as the Phoenix, or even the Phoenix take over Dylan's body, which is Venom's son. I was like, okay, man, I can get behind that. That's pretty cool. And then lo and behold, out of the fucking sky, dude, the Silver Surfer comes in.
Right.
And I was like, oh, fuck, dude, it's going down, dude. This is where we're going to get the Thor version of Silver Surfer. This is where he becomes the fucking worthy one.
Becomes worthy, you know, and everything. So for me, one thing did not make sense to me and still kind of doesn't. So the Captain Universe power set is not set. It's not a like, okay, this is what you're able to do and that's it, right? This is what you have, go with it for what you will. That's not how it works. The Captain Universe power set works with, it varies its power from host to host and will supply you with enough power to do what you need to do and then leave. That's it.
And then that's
it. How it works. It gives you what you need and then it bounces.
Oof, and then it's out.
Yeah. Then that's it. So with this new Captain Universe thing, one, does this mean that Eddie Brock is now going to be the permanent host of the Captain Universe, which is going to make him the most broken character in all of Marvel? Two, if it can do that, why the fuck couldn't it break through the barrier?
Yeah, why did the Silver Surfer have to help him out?
Yeah, I don't get that, but whatever. I'm going to gloss over that. I digress. But I was just like, what? Okay. But wait, what about this? Whatever. Fuck it. It's going to be good storytelling. They'll gloss over that in a little bit. Fuck it.
You know what? I really did like the fact that the Silver Surfer was like nursing it.
Yeah.
To where it needed to go. I thought that was interesting because like I literally thought it would have just been the Silver Surfer that became the character, but
I like the panel where it was like, oh, you're not here for me.
Oh, that, yeah. I love that. I love that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
It kind of gave like a childlike essence, an innocence essence.
Yeah.
To the Enigma Force. So I was kind of like, okay, cool. And then he went, zoomed around. Null screams no. And then it caps onto Eddie Brock, and we're left at that part where, we're left at that, which is something to look forward to, I guess. You got maybe like 2 or 3 more comic books coming out, and then it's going to put an end to it pretty soon. I am really excited for Heroes Reborn because I want to see what they're going to do with the Squadron Supreme in the new comics. But yeah, I just don't know how they're going to reset the universe with it, or if it's going to be like a mini series or what.
I think this is going to be a soft reboot for
you think so?
some things. Yeah.
Because I just don't know what they're going to do in the sense of like, since it's the Squadron Supreme that's going to be in charge and there's no Avengers, does that mean like there is no Captain America, there's no Iron Man, there's no anybody? Or are they there? They just aren't a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Heck, who knows?
Yeah. But let us change subject. So we are going to go ahead because we just went off on a whole tangent. I want to talk about, of course, Future State, but yeah, I think there's only one of them that I was really excited for, which was War of Worlds, which is the Superman one. I love the art. If you can, go check it out.
You know, speaking of Future State, one thing kind of blew my fucking mind when it came to that. That they rolled in DC 1 million, which is really cool. And fucking Superman 1 million got fucking tanked in like 3 panels.
Yeah, in like 3 episodes. Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, he got fucking he got dropped pretty bad.
Yeah. This like nigh omnipotent, like 25,000-year-old Superman who's been living in the sun for the past 15,000 years gets nerfed in fucking 3 panels. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I just don't know where it came from. I don't know what they were trying to do. I don't even know that part of the story. I don't know who drops him.
Like a bunch of people.
Okay.
It was several. It wasn't just a single. It was several. And then that's when like the JLA of like the bajillionth, century or whatever, they're like, well, we're fucked.
Well, we're toast. Okay, so I do have a question for you, Triggs, going on a tangent away from the comic book area and into a little bit more of what we're here to talk about. Did you get to see the trailer for the new Mortal Kombat movie?
Fuck out of it, dude.
What was your initial reaction?
This is going to be fucking amazing.
You think it's going to be good?
I got 1995 vibes.
1995 vibes?
Yeah.
Like the film that came out in 1995?
Yeah, dude. Like fucking Liu Kang when he squares off with Sub-Zero for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I loved it, bro. Like I was.
You know what? Yeah, there were some parts of that trailer that I was taken back to. I want to say the Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie, which was the second film,
which was trash.
Yeah, that's
the one so bad.
Yeah, that was the one that I was kind of taken back to the most, and I think it was because of the vivid colors that were used in the trailer.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, like it wasn't. There's a part of me that, okay, so if I'm not mistaken, there was some other like fan made films for Mortal Kombat or something that was.
I really wouldn't call those fan made. I would call those low budget because.
Oh yeah, okay. So what were those about?
So you're referring to Mortal Kombat Legacy, which was the machinima version.
Okay.
And now the machinima version had like a really, really small 4-episode like kind of like teaser for like the actual TV show that came out in like 2011, and then a second season came out in like 2013 or some shit.
Okay.
And they had some pretty like decently big name actors, like Michael Jai White was in it.
Michael Jai White was in it. That was really cool.
There was a few other like pretty like big time actors as well. It was a really good, man. Yeah, it was a really, really good Mortal Kombat series. What I liked most was that it was very grounded. It was not all like magic and mysticism and outworld.
Yes, it was very gritty.
Yeah,
very gritty.
Like, don't get me wrong, that did play a part, but it played a part later because Lord Raiden doesn't have his powers, but he remembers that he's Lord Raiden. He remembers that he's the Lord of Thunder, right? But everyone thinks that he's fucking crazy, so he gets like lobotomized and he heals himself, and so he's fucking committed to a mental institution, and he's like spouting off like the Mortal Kombat tournament is going to start. Like, I need to get out of here. I need to go. And they're like, oh, take your pills, you know, and like, you know, because they think that he's fucking crazy. Yes, Mortal Kombat Legacy. And dude, it's so good. You know, it really, really is. And you know, and anyone who wants to look it up, do so. It is so fucking good. And honestly, Machinima also did the same thing with Street Fighter. You know, it was so good. So good. I really, really think I really think that like these low budget like Machinima, you know,
or like the fan films, the ones that put cash behind their stuff.
Yeah, but not just that, dude, because they care about the characters, you know, and stuff like that. You know, these are like the nerds who were like, or like Bat in the Sun, you know, like the nerds
love those guys,
want to put out a fucking quality piece of cinema or a quality movie, but stick to continuity, but in a really, really like neat way of changing things to where it still fits continuity. It's like if, you know, the MCU was done by college kids. You know,
which
like
would be great. Which would be great.
It.
Yo, and that's because that reminds me, there's this guy that I've been following for a really long time. He's part of a company it's a stunt team called 1,000 Pounds. He is the one that does the My Hero Academia live action, which if you haven't seen it, it's super amazing. The guy's name is Revan XI on YouTube, but if you just type in My Hero Academia live action, it'll come right up, and I guarantee it's probably going to be one of the best things if you love My Hero Academia. It's going to be one of the best things you've ever seen. It's 15 minutes long, and it's totally worth your time. So yeah, the trailer for Mortal Kombat, the film, dropped. I myself was getting a lot of the 90s 2000 version Mortal Kombat, very special effectsy, you know, sticking to the continuity of the video game. There were some questions, of course, that I would probably ask, which kind of dwells into the Mortal Kombat video game and the lore behind it. So do you think this film is going to correlate with what's going on in the video game right now, or is this going to be like its own standalone kind of process?
I think it's going to be a retelling of the origins,
okay,
while adding in some new stuff. The reason that I say that is because one, we get to see Jax lose his arms, right? So like that already kind of tells me that like there is a start to this. And secondly, Kano is just barely getting his scars. Like those are fresh scars that he's getting. They're not healed over. You know, he doesn't have that metal plate over his face yet.
Yeah, and we know that he's supposed to get his laser because they literally show his laser in one shot.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that in that part of the film, he's fighting that weird, I don't know what kind of animal that was, like a werewolf or whatever the fuck.
Well, apparently that's supposed to be reptile.
Oh, is really?
Yeah, apparently people.
And they look like a fucking werewolf.
Well, no, like if you actually go back and you watch it, it's actually a reptile. Like it actually looks like a lizard,
like an iguana or something.
Yeah, or some shit. And then he rips its heart out.
Godzilla.
So obviously, you know, reptile dies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We already know that he gets his heart ripped out, fatality style.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing from that fight scene, because he's all caught up on the eyes, is when he ends up getting the metal plating.
That's probably how he gets
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, reptile probably scratches him, he rips his fucking heart out, and he's like, whatever. And then he gets a metal plate, and then boom, laser eyes.
It's very crazy because isn't Kano like on the wrong side of this team?
Yeah, he's on the side of Outworld.
And that's the other realm, right? That's where Shang Tsung or Shao Kahn and all those dudes are from.
Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung.
But he is a human being, but he just works for that, or he fights under their flag, right?
Or he fights for them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do remember that from the original video game, that I do remember that he was not a part of the what do you call it? The Earth Realm? Earth Realm.
Yeah, it's Earth Realm. Yeah, it's the Earth Realm and Outworld.
But there are several shots where it shows the entire squad of the Earth Realm team, and Kano's like literally right there. Look, Robert, that's a good point. He puts a pretty good point out there too, man. I have a feeling he's going to betray him. You know, that could be something. But then again, it's like, so Jackson and Sonya are shown in the film to be going after Sub-Zero, which is really nutso to me because when I was a kid and I got into Mortal Kombat, I always believed that Sub-Zero was a good guy.
In Legacy, ironically, they're not going after the Lin Kuei, which is where Sub-Zero comes from. They're going after the Shirai Ryu, or more specifically, they're going after Scorpion of the Shirai Ryu. And I love that. I love that they show.
But they had Scorpion captured in that, didn't they?
Yeah, and like he like breaks out and stuff like that, and he was like, "Dude, whatever. Like you guys never had me. I could."
But it's because he was still looking for Sub-Zero.
Yeah, they were using him so that he could get to Sub-Zero. That's all it was.
But that's the thing is like, when I was growing up, I guess because of the imagery that was used in the video game, I always thought that Scorpion was the bad guy between the both. But it seems
they were always
back and forward.
Guys. Yeah, it was always like a bad guy kind of thing, but because they were never good guys. I mean, they are.
Sub-Zero's kind of douchey, man.
Yeah, but like they were always portrayed as bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, later on, Sub-Zero becomes a good guy. And then after the Lin Kuei make peace with the Shirai Ryu, then Scorpion becomes a good guy. Because, like, there's, like, a truce and a treaty. And, you know, like, hey, man, no hard feelings. You know, that was my brother who did that, not me.
See, that's what's really crazy. Like, even Kyle in the comments says, dude, Mortal Kombat lore is strangely intense for an arcade-style fighter.
Right?
That's a really great way to put it, because what a lot of people don't know is that from, I believe, Mortal Kombat, the original game, to Mortal Kombat, what, Annihilation or Armageddon? Which one was like the one that had like all the characters in it, including like Shinnok and all of those dudes? I think it was Armageddon.
Probably.
Was there a Mortal Kombat Armageddon?
Which is the second one.
No, that was Annihilation. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Well, just getting it out in the open, right? I guess it was number 8. From number 8, what happens is even Raiden's kind of like corrupted. And he ended up
you're talking about the games. My bad. But Armageddon was, And dude, it was fucked up.
It's super crazy because from 1 through 8 is its own storyline. And then at 8, Raiden ends up like literally sacrificing everyone, and then literally coming to the idea that he needs to let Shao Kahn win the tournament. And then Shao Kahn kills him, and he ends up sending a message back to himself, I guess like in another tournament or in another alternate universe. See, that's the thing that I don't understand about Mortal Kombat is, does it deal with multiverses or does it deal with a timeline?
Timelines.
So it's just a timeline.
Yeah.
So it's not a universe. It's not a multiverse.
No.
Okay, so it's not Trunks going back and fixing someone else's timeline and going back to a shitty one, right?
Yeah, no. Because like, I know that Mortal Kombat 11 really deals kind of with like a multiverse, but it's a multiverse that's derived from timelines. Like they like take people from different timelines and then they stick them in a central linear one, and that's what's affecting everything.
Is that because of like the DLCs and stuff and all the extra characters and things?
Yeah, and that's why you have like Spawn and Rambo and fucking like,
see, and that's crazy because like those parts of the story of Mortal Kombat I never pay attention to. Like I just feel like they're put in there for fan fiction, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so like with Rambo, like I know Rambo's a really important character. Like a lot of people like him. There's Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles that a lot of people like also.
Yeah, there was also Terminator. There was also RoboCop, Spawn.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't feel like those guys are important enough to be a part of the Mortal Kombat lore.
Spawn, I can. Because
okay, well, yeah, Spawn, I can see that.
Spawn, I like because I've actually seen his entire interaction list with every character, and I think Malboja is related to some of the Dark Lords in Outer World.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking crazy. Scorpion killed Baihan. And original Sub-Zero gets brought back as Noob Saibot. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? So, like going into the lore of the characters,
and that's why, because in the trailer, that's who you're seeing. You're seeing Bihan. You're not seeing his brother.
Yeah.
You're seeing Bihan, and Bihan kills the entire Shirai Ryu clan, and then that's why like Scorpion has a huge vendetta against him.
Yeah, he kills his family, wife, kids, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's even like theory that
I love who they chose for Scorpion.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah, the guy from the Last Samurai.
Dude, fuck, man, I want to know what style of fucking sword, like what his sword style is that he uses in his movies. Because man, that is fucking beautiful sword work that he does.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to practicing and stuff like that, for film, it's different when it comes to like what you do for theater. When it comes to the fighting nation, but then again, like you're looking at a guy who grew up in the Japanese film culture, who's been doing war era movies.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like he uses kenju, like kendo or anything like that. It almost looks like was it like iatsu almost?
Oh, Iaido.
Yeah, Iaido, because he's very one-handed.
Yeah. If it's more of like a quick drawing, it's based on a Iaido style. Yeah. But then again, that's the cool thing about it is like if you look at the stunt work in Japan, a lot of the films, they have a lot of practice when it comes to the Roaring era times. So like they have a really cool niche on understanding the camera and how it works with the weapons. Like, so when they want to film something, they don't film it literally only around the actor. They film it around him and his weapon.
Then that makes sense.
Yeah. So like they have a really beautiful system when it comes to that.
And that's why I kind of like go to you. I mean, you're a sword practitioner, and so I know that you would know these things.
Yeah. No, and it's cool because there was a lot of people that were talking about how they wanted to see the
Hiroyuki Sanada is the guy who Ronin kills in Endgame. He's the
guy who fights Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
Yeah, he was also in
Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, in Wolverine.
Yeah, or not Origins, but Wolverine.
I mean, dude,
he was the son of the Silver Samurai.
Yeah, he's a fucking badass, dude.
He's literally every samurai character. He was in 47 Ronin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's every anytime you want to have a swordman in a film, it's that one Asian guy.
Yeah. He does it beautifully, dude. He's like the Hector of like Mexican movies. But
you see, oh shit, that dude's dope. Yeah, because you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. He was an asshole for exactly.
Yeah, he was kind
redeemed, though. He was redeemed.
Yeah, he was redeemed. I wouldn't call him the asshole. It's just the way that the culture is represented at that time. Being an outsider, Keanu Reeves' character was
Gaijin.
Yeah, he was a Gaijin. Not only was he white, but he was also like to them a demon because he grew up in the forest where the Tengu warriors lived, which was an actual forest that people believed demons live there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't trained by them, I guess you could say, but the kids just learned to survive.
Well, he was trained by them, because like, you remember he goes and he was like, don't forget what we taught you. And he was like, oh, dude, fuck, fine. I'll fucking use your techniques. And then he does. And he like, wins.
Oh, well, that's the cool part about the movie, The 47 Ronin, is that like they brought a lot of that cool, like Japanese spirituality.
And like, I love how they
did so good.
How they used seppuku correctly.
Yes.
They were like, you will be fucking totally forgiven if you just kill yourself. And they're like, sweet, I get to die with honor, bro. Fuck yeah.
And that's because when their shogunate died, they couldn't die with honor.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a master to serve. That's the whole purpose of a samurai. Even the name means to serve. Yeah, like I love the way that they did that movie.
That's why I also really, really, really like Sekiro.
Oh, the game?
Sekiro, because like you see the main character grow up as like a kid, and then he's like, when you become a samurai, you will be given a master and you will fucking obey this person for everything. You will lay down your life for this person regardless of anything. And I love it.
Such a great movie. Such a great match. And you know what? Going back to the Mortal Kombat film, there's a lot of people there were some people that were complaining about the costume design for Sub-Zero and Scorpion, because the characters do use samurai armor for their chest plating.
Yeah.
And they're not going with like that robe kind of design where it was like the material fabric for the Scorpion or the Sub-Zero outfit. But I think they're kind of choosing this because it's more like a streamline. It's more mainstream. It makes it look like it's, actual shit you would use in a fight.
Well, I think they're also kind of highlighting at like the point of origin for each of the characters, because Shirai Ryu are Japanese, who Ken Kui Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So, it fits the overall.
Yep.
If it's just the overall like aspect of the characters.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's like Robert put up. It just feels real. It feels real in the sense of what they would actually wear. So I think it's good. There's a lot of people that are talking about this character Cole. What's his name? J. Cole?
No, Cole Young.
Cole Young. There we go. He is this new kind of. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what he is. He's a new character to the franchise.
Yeah,
being based out of the film.
Yeah, and so actually, I read the premise. This isn't the synopsis; it's the premise. So the premise is a washed-up mixed martial arts fighter named Cole Young is unaware of his hidden lineage or why he is being hunted down by Sub-Zero of the Lin Kuei clan of assassins. Concerned for the safety of his family, he seeks out a clique of fighters that were chosen to defend Earthrealm in a high-stakes battle against the forces of Outworld. Ooh. And actually, it says if you look on the IMDb, yes, we are supposed to get a Johnny Cage. We just don't know who's been cast for it yet. But that's who I thought Cole Young was going to be. I thought he was going to be like the like Johnny Cage like replacement. But I mean, heck, who knows?
Know what? When you told me about that, see, because Robert put it right now too, that he was actually thinking, because there's a lot of people that are talking about it online, that they were thinking that this J. Cole, his name's J. Cole, right?
No, Cole Young.
Cole Young. I got to remember his name. It's so weird. Cole Young, that he is actually supposed to be like the long lost son of Hanzo, which is Scorpion.
Yeah.
But the thing is I really don't think that's a thing, man. And the reason why I don't think that's the thing is because the Scorpion character has kind of like an immortal roots background. He doesn't really die. He doesn't really go anywhere. There was no reason to bring in a secondary Scorpion or a third variation of Scorpion. Sub-Zero, on the other hand, had like his brother come up, other members of the clan come up. Hanzo was always by himself. So like, I kind of feel like, I think you're more on the head about this, where you're saying, maybe after the tournament, this guy ends up getting a record deal or a fucking movie deal, and someone's like, hey, you want to be a movie star? And he's like, yeah, call me fucking Johnny Cage instead, because he's a cage fighter and his name starts with a J. Like, I kind of feel like that's more of a opportunity for them to use that character, because it's very weird. Like, how do you not have Johnny Cage in the trailer for a Mortal Kombat film when you have Sonya, you have Scorpion, Sub-Zero, you have Jax, and you know that in, if I'm not mistaken, game 9, Johnny Cage is part of like this warrior race that ends up
yeah, he's like some sort of
he's important
descendant from like some weird magic warrior race. Important. Yeah, and that's why like his kicks do what they do. Mm-hmm. And like now Cassie is also part of that lineage as well, because she's his daughter. And it was just like, all right, man, whatever. Sure.
They really made those characters really important. Like, for them to remove Liu Kang the way that they did in the previous games and then pick up Johnny Cage, and then of course like his daughter, like that's super, like it's weird for him to not be a part of the trailer right now. But I think that the reason why is because they're trying to get like a really big actor, or they probably have a huge actor to play his role.
Yeah.
Dude, what if it's like Zac Efron, bro?
I'm done. I would be like, fuck this.
Zac Efron, man. I just saw a picture of that dude. He's all like hardcore 80s rock looking kind of dude right now.
Get the fuck.
It's super crazy, dude. But yeah, that would be the only reason. That would be the only thing that I would believe why they haven't had an actor come in as Johnny Cage. Because like I even tried to go through it in slow-mo mode in the trailer, try to catch anything that a lot of people didn't catch.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did catch, and I'm pretty excited for, is if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw Cabal as the dude that's getting his ass kicked by Liu Kang with the big dragon. Because they're starting to, if there's one thing that's cool as fuck in the trailer, is they're starting to do a lot of like the fatalities and shit.
Yeah, I heard that that's actually going to be like somewhat of a thing. I mean, obviously they're not going to be like fatality, but you know, like I think they're going to do some of like the fatality moves in this, like, this movie.
That would be super, super cool, dude. What Kyle over here saying that he hopes that Christopher Lambert makes a comeback as Raiden. I mean, what is Christopher Lambert doing nowadays, anyways?
Being old.
Yeah, he's just an old dude, man. I am slightly unimpressed by the way.
Actually, another character in 47 Ronin is Lord Raiden. The bad guy of 47 Ronin is Lord Raiden.
Which one? The main villain?
Yeah.
He was Lord Raiden? I don't remember that.
No, he is Lord Raiden.
Oh, the actor?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so rad.
Actually,
the only person that
he was Hogun in the MCU. He was the guy in blue, the one with the mace.
I know what you're talking about. That's super cool. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. What I thought was really interesting is Shang Tsung has a shitty wig, but that's because I think that Batman kicked that ass too much. That was the Asian guy from Christopher Nolan's Batman films. You remember the fucking banker guy?
Yeah.
When I saw that dude, I was like, why does this guy look so stupid familiar? And why doesn't he fit this role very well? And yeah, it's because he's like a sneezy little lawyer guy, dude. He's not even like super built like the old Shang Tsung guy. The one from the 90s film. I wish they would have brought that dude back. I know he's an older gentleman now. But man, that would have been so cool too.
Actually, he was sorry, the guy who plays him is actually in The Dark Knight. He's he's the Chinese banker.
Yeah, he's a Chinese banker. Yeah. He's a little snobby banker guy, dude.
Yeah. He was also Councilman Yen in The Winter Soldier.
Councilman Yen. The Winter Soldier.
Yeah. He was the Chinese councilman, you know, who like walks in with like Scarlett Johansson, you know, playing that old lady, and they all die.
That's right. Yeah, with Nick Fury at the end, the little.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I totally didn't even realize that. I just remember he's so tiny though, dude.
Dude, he is, bro.
He's such a tiny individual to be playing Shang Tsung. The original actor that you chose for Shang Tsung, I was so happy to see him make his return back in Mortal Kombat 11.
Honestly, that guy should have stayed as Shang Tsung.
Yeah, I think he could have. I think he still could have done it.
Because I mean, dude, the line, "Your soul is mine."
Well, I mean, the idea would have been that if they were doing the original video game rendition of the game, Shang Tsung would be old right now. Like he would be, he'd be the older guy because in the original Shang Tsung game, he was an older gentleman. And then later on, Shao Kahn ends up giving him his youth to try to combat the people again in Earth Realm or whatever. The game is so weird, man. The fucking lore is so weird. It's like you have to win a tournament 10 times to be able to have the opportunity to conquer a realm.
Yeah.
Right? From Mortal Kombat 1 to 2, in Mortal Kombat 1, Liu Kang comes in and puts a whooping on that ass, right? So he ends up resetting that number. So in Mortal Kombat 2, Shang Tsung or Shao Kahn is like, well, you know what? We're going to challenge him again and we're going to win and we're going to go after Earth. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Don't you have to do it 9 more times? Like, you can't just continue your number from here. That shit resets. And Shao Kahn's like, I don't pay attention to the rules. Like, it's such a weird fucking game, man.
Yeah.
There's like, I think, what is it like? I think like 4 or 5 in the video game, right? Because there's, before it gets to the newer variations of Mortal Kombat, everything got new and real tactical looking. from Mortal Kombat 9 to Mortal Kombat 11. So like I want you to remember that Mortal Kombat 9 was the reboot of the timeline. That was where it went back to the original tournament of Mortal Kombat and then continue on to the story of what they're trying to transcribe, or I don't even know. It's nuts. That's what it is. But Mortal Kombat 1 through 8, there's a part where they're like, okay, cool. If you win this tournament, you get 50 years of your life knocked off. And they tell like Liu Kang, if you win, you get 50 years, bro. You're not going to age. That's what you get as a gift. But it almost seems like every video game's done overnight because no one ages except for Shang Tsung. And he ages backwards. He's like the Benjamin Button of the villains in the game. Like, I don't get it, man. I never got it. And then all of a sudden, like this giant dude, this giant dragon character comes out of nowhere, which is Onagi or something like that. Do you know who I'm talking about? The big dragon guy with wings?
I honestly, no, I don't, dude.
Okay, so Shao Kahn, right? Shao Kahn is the major villain in part 2.
Yeah.
Part 1, it was Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung was just the sorcerer to Shao Kahn. But Shao Kahn was just the general to this other big-ass dude that looked like a dragon. Not like a dragon with a long neck and shit, but like a Hulk with 2 big-ass horns. And I want to say his name was Ogun or something like that. And in one of the scenes, it's a super famous scene, dude, in the video game. I want to say it's like number 5. Do you remember there is like a cinematic of Shinnok, Raiden, and Shang Tsung fighting each other?
Yes.
Right? You remember that, right? And they're all fighting each other and they're all whipping each other. It was Shang Tsung and it wasn't Shinnok. It was the other guy. What was the other fucking weird bald villains guy? The white dude that looked like Crow. He was like another sorcerer. What was his name, dude?
Oh, dude, I can't remember.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do, but I haven't caught up on fucking Mortal Kombat lore in forever.
I'm gonna find it right now. Sorcerer in Mortal Kombat. Quan Chi, dude. Not to be mistaken with Quan Su, dude.
Or Shang-Chi, which is trash.
No, Shang-Chi's trash in the Marvel universe. Oh, you know what? I wanted to ask you about that too. Oh, and yeah, Kyle said it too. Onaga. See, yeah. I knew it was something like that too, dude. So you have Quan Chi. He's like this bald sorcerer dude that's always in everybody's business. You have Shinnok, which is another fucking sorcerer, but he's a little bit more of like a traditionalist in the sorcerer realm kind of thing. Well, those dudes are both under whoever's winning. That's the easiest way to put it. They're underneath whoever's the king at the time. And Shao Kahn is like the ultimate version of the king, but he was under this character named Onaga, which is like this big hulking dragon with wings. But Shao Kahn outsmarts him. Right? But like, there's also like, there was another thing. So earlier I put up a picture for the podcast on our Facebook of all the characters that are on the poster for Mortal Kombat. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, are those not the same colors? Let me see. Colors of cool. Forgot what they're called, but they're like these like collecting things. Onaga, yeah. There we go. I just hope I don't get anything weird. Blah, 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 characteristics, you can move up around, quotes, blah, 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 blah. So there was this thing, okay, so Onaga had been removed from the video game. He got his ass kicked by Shao Kahn, right? He was poisoned, and then he was in this other weird video game that they had to try to bring him back and shit like that. But he had these, like, there's these weird, not medallions, but like relics in Mortal Kombat. And they're all different colors. And I wanted to say that the characters in the comic, in the posters, are very similar to the colors of those things. And I want to know if that's probably what they're going to be going with. where each of these characters is kind of like an iteration. The Kami Dogo. Yeah, there we go. The Kami Dogu is a god tool or divine equipment, are mystic relics created by the elder gods, which are said to contain the essence of the realms. So the colors for it are green, purple, red, blue, yellow, and gold. And for some reason on the poster, almost each of those characters kind of represents one of these colors. So like in my mind, do you think that the characters will be portraying the Kami Dogo and that's why they're chosen to fight in the Mortal Kombat like that? Once they're together, they're like Captain Planet kind of shit?
Maybe not. I don't think so. So I know that like the holders, if I remember correctly, the holders of the Kami Dogu are like kind of like the ones who are chosen to protect those realms.
The realms, yeah.
You know, so that could be an aspect of it. Heck, who knows? You know, because like the colors I've already been given, right? But
yes.
But Liu Kang isn't in any of those. You know, Cole is, but not Liu Kang.
Yeah, but then again, it's like there's a part of me that thinks Liu Kang's gonna get pushed to the back,
which is kind of shitty, dude. Because you know, like
he was the character, man.
He was like the main character.
Yeah, he was the
like,
dude.
You know, like he was the main character of the Mortal Kombat series for like ever.
Yeah, to me, he was the dude. You know, to see them, because like if you look at it, I think you said it too, that the guy that's playing Cole, right?
Yeah,
that he's already been in several films.
Oh yeah,
and I've seen him before in other, I guess, like the fan films that you were talking about.
So Cole, the guy who plays Cole Young, actually came out in Into the Badlands, which is a fucking badass, you know, TV show. Unfortunately canceled. But let me look up this dude real quick.
No, I know. Well, the show, like I've seen that guy before in several martial arts films.
Yeah. So Lewis,
and he's been the front runner on a lot of the characters, right? Like he's kind of like a not a major role, but he's kind of been in that major role essence.
Some of them, yeah.
But the guy that's playing Liu Kang, I have never seen him in a film like that.
Yeah,
where he's like front runner. Like I've never seen him as a front runner in a film.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the biggest thing that he's done, like the biggest front runner part that he's had was in Deadpool 2, where he was Shatterstar and then fucking died real quick.
Oh, that was the guy who played Cole, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because he's been in a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, but he was more of a stuntman. That's what he did. He was just a stuntman. What else? He was you know, he was in Iron Fist like for like one episode, you know, and then like I said, he was in.
Did he play the drunk guy?
Yeah,
he played the drunk villain in Iron Fist, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then he was, like I said, he was also in, you know, Into the Badlands.
And I the thing is, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, right? But like the character guy that's playing Liu Kang, I haven't seen him. And like to me, the character that you're talking about, that was Shatterstar, the one that's playing J. Cole, he's like Scott Adkins. Like Scott Adkins is another stunt guy, which is the he was the stuntman for Wade Wilson in Deadpool or X-Men, Wolverine. He was the one that they painted up and made bald and gave the 2 swords in the wrist to the bad Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
He was his stuntman. And then later on, he was used again because he's a prominent guy, dude. He's come out in a bunch of films, man. I think he's like Ninja Assassin, which is a film that's on Netflix. It's like a white dude that's going to Japan to be a ninja. Like you can find him and stuff. He was also one of the minions in Doctor Strange, which was the guy with the goatee, like the bigger built guy that's fighting Doctor Strange.
He's the one who actually almost kills him.
The one that's in the heart attack.
And then he has to fight him in the astral world.
Yeah, that's Scott Adkins.
Yeah.
That guy is a very, very well-known stuntman.
Yeah. He was the Marine in the last Ip Man movie. you know, who was making all that racist shit. You know, he was also in the Expendables. You know, he was in fucking Undisputed. You know, Yuri Boyka, the most complete fighter.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, you got it, dude. You got it. What's really, really cool about him is like he's right now in the world of stuntmen. And what's beautiful right now is in Hollywood, they're kind of looking at stuntmen like, hey, dude, this guy can do both. He can act and he can do this.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's like they're talking about it with Tom Holland too. Tom Holland, when he came out to do his first scene in Civil War, he comes in and does the flip and steals Captain America's shield and lands. And there's a really, really cool interview where it's the Russo brothers, Kevin Feige, what's his face, Happy Hogan, and Robert Downey Jr., right? They're sitting at a diner, just them and Tom Holland or whatever. And they're talking about when they first started off. And Kevin Feige's like, that he remembers when Tom Holland came in for the first time and he was going to do that scene in Civil War at the airport. And that they were going to do a soft read. And he comes in and they go, oh, okay, well, CG wise, you're going to come in and you're going to do a flip and you're going to land and you're going to introduce yourself as Spider-Man. And Tom Holland goes, well, do you want me to do the flip? And they were kind of like, what? And he's like, do you want me to do the flip? And he's like, they were like, can you do a flip? He's like, yeah. So they rigged the whole not bedroom, but they were in a hotel room. They rigged all the hotel room for like wire foo to do like a backflip off of the bed and land. That when when the director and the actors came in, they saw like the wires and shit. They were like, what the fuck is going on? They had like pads and all this shit in the hotel. And then, yeah, all of a sudden they start doing the dry read and Tom Holland comes in and does a backflip and lands. And he did it like several times. And everyone was like, yo, that motherfucker can backflip. That dude can backflip. He does it all. And that's the thing is they were saying how Tom Holland as an actor is more in tune to doing his own stunts.
Yeah.
So if you can find someone that can do it all, you don't have to waste the money on, or not waste, I wouldn't say waste the money, but you don't have to spend extra cash on getting an extra stunt guy to do it. Because if you look at it right now, like the stunt guy for Thor, Love and Thunder, Thor's stunt guy is saying that he's having difficulty keeping up with Chris Hemsworth and his body size.
Yeah, dude. Because fucking Chris Hemsworth is a fucking
he's a Goliath of a man, dude.
Yeah, that man is a specimen.
Yeah, he's
and you know, like actually I wasn't reading you know, for anyone who knows, I'm a huge YouTube junkie. And I was watching Arnold Schwarzenegger talk about his most iconic roles. And one of them was, you know, it was obviously Conan, right? You know, was the Conan the Barbarian. And they were saying that like they wanted to have a stuntman for, you know, to help out with some of the scenes that he was going to do, you know, because they're really intense and very physical scenes. And they were like, well, we can't fucking find one, dude, because no one is as big as
Mr. Universe.
Dude. This guy's a fucking like,
yeah. How do you find a fucking stuntman for Mr. Universe?
Yeah, it's impossible. You'd need.
I think Oz explains it very well. He's like a pirate and an angel had a baby.
Yeah,
that's super true. That's super true about Chris Hemsworth.
And but, yeah, so that's why I was like, you know, like his muscles are like Katati metal fibers.
And you know what? Like going back to what we're talking about, it's very cool to see these stunt guys getting put in the limelight for once.
Yeah.
You know, if there's one guy that I know a lot of people are a fan of, but don't really know his name, is Lateef Crowder.
Yeah.
Lateef Crowder is the capoeira guy from Ombak or The Protector. He was the guy that looks like Eddie Gordo, and I think he even played Eddie Gordo in the Tekken film, the bad one. But yeah, he comes out in a lot of films. Actually, as a matter of fact, he played the Baraka in that Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is the guy
he was also in Undisputed. I believe he was.
Yeah, that's right. He's the capoeira guy in Undisputed, and everybody claims him to be the next Eddie Gordo. Yeah. So that's Lateef Crowder. He's actually the stuntman in about 80% of the Marvel films that are going on right now.
Actually, he's also Jin Djarin's. He's Pedro Pascal's stunt
coach.
No, he's his stuntman. He's a stunt double.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, I do remember him being on the set. I didn't know that he was a stunt man, but yeah, that's Lateef Crowder, man. Super cool guy. And I'm not
Actually,
mistaken, I think he came down here. There's a couple at a group out of Brownsville that they brought him down for a little bit. So cool as crap, man. How cool is that? Um, it's so cool to see a lot of these. I guarantee he's going to probably be working on the Mortal Kombat film. He was part of the Mortal Kombat legacy, and if I'm not mistaken, the guy that played Johnny Cage in that one was also a martial arts trickster at the time, which is an XMA star, like almost like that kid that played Shark Boy.
yeah,
Like he was like one of those guys, which is like he was like one of those. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Super interesting stuntman, super great stuntman. But it's so cool. But the guy that's playing Cole, we've seen him being that stuntman that's in the front, like in the front of the cameras, and being able to be seen that can pull off not just the stunt work but the acting. But the Liu Kang character, I cannot put my name on where I might have seen him at. And that's why I have a really strong feeling that he's not going to be the main dude in the shots. He's not going to be who the story's about. Like, I guarantee you that more than likely this is going to be about the Cole character.
yeah.
And I think it's going to have a lot to do about the Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
I think that's going to be the underlying plot. I do think that Cole is probably going to have some sort of Shirai Ryu tie. I can see that happening.
You feel it?
Yeah, I mean, because he's an Asian actor, you know, it's you know, stereotypes exist for a reason, right? You know, but you know, it could very well happen. It could very well happen. I mean, heck, who knows? I am really, really excited to see where this comes.
Yeah, I'm fucking super excited. It's been, dude, when did that Legacy Mortal Kombat come out?
2011.
Dude, it's been since then that they've been thinking about putting this all together. So like it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
And what makes it even better
is, dude, and you know, because you and I were talking about this earlier. You know what the crazy thing is? That TV series is so much better than the fucking trash ass Monster Hunter movie that I'm currently watching.
Oh, you were watching Monster Hunting before we started.
Yeah, I'm almost finished with it. And guys, this is such a cringe fucking movie. This is the game that I'm gonna use to like motivate me to play fucking Monster Hunter. It is
so like bad. With the film Monster Hunter, because does it kind of fall into the curse of like the game to film aspect?
In some aspects. Like one that they like finally start kind of getting into is you kill monsters for their parts to make weapons.
Okay. Which is similar to the game.
It's like the game.
Yeah, I know.
Grind for that reason. Like that's
literally the only reason.
Yeah. And it's so funny. And like now, like you're finally getting to the oasis in, you know, the desert, which is like another big part of you know, the Monster Hunter story. And yeah, dude, it's a bad fucking movie. But man, you know what, dude? Like it's entertaining. Like,
I think Osguzman asked on a scale of 1 to 10
of the movie, I give it a solid 5.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, a solid 5.
So let me ask you something. As a really, really big fan of Monster Hunter, and then stepping into watching the trailer and the film, did you anticipate more because you've played the game and you know what it is about?
Yes.
So you anticipated a lot more?
Oh my God, yes. Unless this last half hour fucking just totally blows me away, which I very much doubt will happen. Better than the last Airbender? Oof, man, that's
that's far-fetched, man.
That's hard.
Yo, well, let me ask a question that's very, very important then to people of the franchise that like it. Does it pay respect to the monsters themselves?
Yes.
So the whole kaiju feeling giant monster kind of vibe, like it's still there. So I guess the riding around the monster is just what's garbage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. That's not too bad. Well, yeah. I mean, well, going back to the idea of the Mortal Kombat story, I'm really excited. Of course, being that it's just a trailer that just came out, the fucking cinematics look fantastic. The way he captures the shotgun and the shotgun blast like comes out and it's like freezing the bullets. I think that's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in film. Like just
and I thought the shotgun round was actually very accurate because that's
that
actually
is so fucking cool, dude.
It was just and it's because it's pellets. It's not just like a slug or something like that. It's pellets.
Yeah, it's spreading out.
And like it spreads out like that. And I thought that was so cool. I was like, that's fucking amazing. That is very accurate.
So like the CG right now, it has my attention.
Oh yeah.
It has my attention.
100%.
So the part that I'm not very happy about right now, which probably I'm gonna get a little bit of slack for.
Jaded.
Yeah, which is the comedy part for Kano. Which is like his kind of wittiness and then him being like in the group and all this stuff. I'm not really a big fan of that. I wanted it to still kind of have that vibe where he is on the run from Sonya Blade because they have a bad history.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing about Kano. That was always like kind of his thing. Like he never took anything seriously. Even when on the run,
I mean, I get
like
that.
even when on the run, he was kind of like, catch me if you can.
Yeah, like he's always like that debonair villain, right?
Yeah, except he's an Australian fuck.
Except he's Captain, what's it, Boomerang?
Yeah.
Except he's fucking Boomerang from
with me, Nana.
But I feel like, so they already put the fatality of him ripping the heart out, the fucking laser from his eye, and then they added like lines of his comedy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's already the whole entire shtick of the character.
Probably is.
And they've just given the whole thing in the trailer.
Well, I mean, how many times have you ever seen a trailer pretty much give the entire character away? In like every single trailer.
Well, yeah, like even if we look at Marvel or we look at anything like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at Captain Marvel. You know that she was a punk. She kind of becomes cool, and then you see her get her fucking
powers and her fucking powers. Yeah, she goes binary. But then that's the thing is, but Marvel's gonna deliver.
Yeah,
like that's the problem with this is we don't know if it's gonna deliver yet.
I have my faith.
You have faith in it?
Oh yeah.
I do have some faith. And the reason why I have faith is, of course, the actor that they chose for Scorpion. I 100% back that dude up in whatever fucking movie he's in. He can make a movie about hot dogs, dude, and I'd still love it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's an amazing actor. The fight scene when they introduce how Scorpion's kunai works.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that trailer by itself, that fight scene alone is like a 10 out of 10. It's beautiful. Everybody was spot on for their timing. The falls, the bumps that they were taking were amazing. The character, the actor that's playing the main role of Scorpion, like he sells the stances and movements so well.
Even when he's fighting the Lin Kuei, like, when they ambush him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one.
Beautiful, dude. It's beautiful cinematography, beautiful choreography. It is just so fucking accurate. And, you can tell that guy, like, is just a master at his craft.
Yeah, master at the craft. And it's beautiful. Like, that's the scene that I was talking about. I was saying, like, when he puts together the rope and the kunai,
yeah,
where he starts using it, like, it,
right.
There was a lot of people
like
that
one of those,
kinda,
like, all right, dude, let's fuck around.
Like, there's a lot of people that want to see that idea of, like, okay, cool. We know Scorpion uses a harpoon as a weapon, but where did that come from? Is it like a family heirloom? Is it this? Is it that? It comes out of his palm. It comes out of his wrist. How does he control it so well? Like, there's a lot of questions that came with it. Yeah. And the origin of the story was that it was a weapon that his family used to farm. Like, it was a farming weapon.
Yeah, and they would swing it around.
Similar to the whole idea of the ninja kind of idea. So, like, yeah, it really kind of like portrays the idea. Like, just that scene alone was like, okay, cool. Like, it's in his garden. It's by a rope. This fucking dude just kind of put it together, shivved it together. He's ready to go. Dude. He's ready to fuck.
Yeah.
Like he puts it down. He puts it down in a great way. You can see in the background, like some of the family members are already frozen, like in some of the parts of that scene. And you know what? As a matter of fact, there is a part in the scene that I kind of feel like you could have hit on the button too. There's a scene when that Cole guy is in the restroom and he's like washing his face, and then all of a sudden he gets like an image of a Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scorpion kind of like pops in and it kind of like freaks him out. So like maybe I guess like I can see it where maybe there's a possibility that he can be like a long lost son. There's a bunch of theories that he's a long lost son of Scorpion.
Yeah.
Which maybe they're gonna make it to where the Lin Kuei would go and like capture children from this tribe of people to turn them into like their clansmen. And he was like one of the ones that got away or some shit. I don't know. And that's why they're going after his family. It could be a million things that they could do. But yeah, it looks really good. Oh yeah, and you know what? As a matter of fact, the reason why I was getting more of the Mortal Kombat 2 vibes was because I wasn't getting cinematography that was like the Justice League dark and gritty Batman movies.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a dark gray like mood tone. It almost had like a Goonies adventure tone. Like the lighting is very like warm. Like you see the scene when you see the desert and everything's very bright orangish. Inside the cave, everything is orange. The Raiden scene when the lightning kind of explodes from him, it's very Big Trouble in Little China. Like I don't know if you remember. Do you remember that movie?
That movie was so bad.
Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
But do you remember the three brothers? The three brothers of the three. One of them was Raiden, one of them was Wind, and the other one was like swords or some shit.
Yeah.
When they had all the Raiden hats. Well, there was one guy that did lightning, and for some reason, that scene in this trailer, when Raiden appears and the lightning bolt smashes, like it reminded me of that scene. It reminded me of that film.
Yeah, I get that.
There is some really cool excitement for this. I'm not a big fan of them showing them ripping what's his face's arms off. I thought that shouldn't have been shown in the trailer. I think that could have been a big move for Jax as a character.
So you actually know what kind of freaks me out. So I'm actually watching the trailer right now, and I'm kind of like
going through it and stuff.
Yeah. So one thing that I'm actually seeing is Kano is with all of them, and I think
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna betray and go with Outworld.
Yeah, that was a really, really good call on Robert's part.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that in the film wise, all of the Earth people are going at the same time to go to the realm, and Raiden's like using that part to, I guess, unlock it, like unlock the doorway to the realm, the Mortal Kombat. Because that's really previous before his eyes cut.
Yeah, and I'm actually really starting to think that Cole is Lin Kuei.
Why do you feel that?
Not Lin Kuei is Shirai Ryu, because your first actual like reveal of Scorpion is him in the cage, and the cage is frozen over, and Cole is in the cage, and that's when he comes, and you see him for the first time, and I'm like,
because Sub-Zero's after him, and then all of a sudden Scorpion shows up to save him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, quick question. Do you think they're going to be as brutal as the video game when it comes to the fight scenes, like of them getting like shit broken and stabbed and killed, and then they just walk it off?
I think it can definitely happen.
Dude, because that scene when Scorpion and Sub-Zero are fighting, like Sub-Zero literally like cuts his stomach open, then like blood comes out and he stabs him in the back with his own blood, and then he throws him like through a snow thing, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That whole entire thing was literally almost straight out of the video game. But like, how's that dude at like 48 gonna walk that shit off?
Bro, that guy's a fucking beast, dude.
I don't know. The trailer looks great. I guess I'm only scared because of the game to movie curse.
I get that, but I think Mortal Kombat has always been one of those that like it did well enough.
Going from through the timeline, not of the game, but of the franchise itself, when it came to the cinematics of it. Like you look at from the video games, Then you look up to the 90s Mortal Kombat game or movie. Then you go back to the video games, and then you go to the 2000s movie, right? Like, I guess during that time when the first Mortal Kombat film came out, yeah, it was a little corny. But then again, like, so was Spider-Man in the original movies. Like, the original Spider-Mans with Tobey Maguire were kind of corny if you go back and watch them now.
Yeah, dude, they really are.
They're really corny. I think, yeah, part 2 was a little bit worse in the sense of it being a strictly like a story-driven movie compared to like what it just wanted to do for visuals. I think part 2 was pushing more on the visuals than it was the story itself. It wanted to wow the audience with what it could do. So like Jax had his metal arms, Minotaur or Mintaro had like his like horse legs. Yeah. Shao Kahn was there. Like it had its like really weird essence, right? Where part 1 was very story driven, where it did have like more of a serious vibe to try to take it serious. There was a lot of lessons like a Karate Kid movie lessons that it was trying to teach you during the film. But I feel that with the one that you're talking about, with Mortal Kombat Legacy, is when I feel the franchise was like, hey, you know what? We can do this like gritty. Like we can make this a serious fucking film. We don't have to be these dumb Street Fighter, the movie style films. We can get a little serious.
I agree.
So like that's the only reason behind me, because of the Legacy films, that I feel like this movie is going to come out and it's going to be like, it might have like the Punisher, Daredevil-esque vibes from the Netflix series. Yeah. It might have that grit to it that might just save that style of the franchise. That might give us faith that these comic book or not comic book, but like a video game to movies, films don't have to follow that weird, I don't know, Resident Evil blueprint.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like I feel like it can kind of be a little bit more serious. But we'll have to see what Mortal Kombat pulls off. From what it looks like, the trailer is pretty awesome. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid like 9, maybe an 8.5. Even though I did not like the what is it? The Kano scene. I think he's fucking funny as hell when he's like, what do you say? Fucking fatality, and he's like, damn right, or what a beaut or something.
Yeah, no, he actually says fuck. And he was like,
he says some shit, like, I'm like, all right, dude, fuck. He'll be like, yeah, fucking fatality. Yeah, what a beaut. He's looking at the heart and shit. I was like, okay. It's a little funny, but I could take it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I agree. Yeah, Triggs, what do you think? Scale of 1 to 10, Mortal Kombat.
Honestly, solid 9.
Solid 9. Get it. I say solid 9, 8.5. All right, Triggs, on to the next part. Without any spoilers, first reaction. Did you see WandaVision?
Yes, sir, I did.
What did you think? Scale of 1 to 10.
Fucking called it.
It was insane.
Dude, someone should pick up that phone because I fucking called it, dude.
You know what? There was a missed opportunity. I feel like when they were doing the whole, I have a friend of mine, I kind of feel cheated a little bit. I mean, I was one of those people that was pushing for, of course, Blue Marvel, Adam Brashear.
You know,
there was people pushing for Beast.
Back on it now, it's the perfect setup for him because him and Monica Rambeau are lovers.
Yes, dude. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah. Like they have history. And when she first gets her powers.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't remember him being an aerospace engineer. If I remember correctly, he's a physicist.
He's a physicist, dude. And that's the same thing as Reed Richards. It's the same thing as Hank McCoy. Like all of them are like not aerospace engineer. That's like working at Wendy's in the science division, man.
Yeah. I mean,
all of these guys are like quantum physicists. They're like all fucking, they're all geniuses, dude.
Yeah. And so that's why I was like, when a lot of people were like aerospace engineer, I was like, I know who you guys want.
That's not going to work.
He was a physicist.
Yeah. And that's the same thing. Like, there were many opportunities for them to choose any other type of scientist.
Yeah.
I mean, you know who would have been even Eric Selvig. The guy from fucking Thor, the weird scientist guy.
And he's an astrophysicist.
Yeah, you see, like that would have been at least a little closer.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, the only reason why I think they would have chosen him is because Darcy is there. And he's already dealt with the idea of the multiple realms. So that would have been the only reason why I think it would have been Eric Selvig. But of course, like it ended up being like this weird, like what was the girl's name? Woods? Rebecca Woods.
Darcy Lewis.
No. The girl that Monica Rambeau meets up with. When she's like, oh, at least there's still people that are loyal to my mom.
Oh, yeah. Major something.
Yeah, like that was very weird for me. Like I thought the person who was going to hook her up with that vehicle would have been someone of like a different Marvel franchise.
Yeah.
Like of a different team or something.
I could see.
But it ended up just being someone who was just a part of their regular team. It just happened to be like someone who had their back in the show. Which I was kind of like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I thought it was very like lackluster to say the least. But with that being said, there is something in there that I think you and I were kind of not in disagreement with, but trying to find the actual item.
Okay.
You thought it was one thing, I thought it was another. And the reason that I thought that it was what I think is because it has a larger tie to the Doctor Strange mythos.
Okay, so what we'll do right now is we want to kind of talk a little bit of spoilers, right?
Yeah. So
what I want to do is
15 seconds.
Yeah, I want to give everybody the opportunity to, if you have not seen WandaVision and you don't want us to ruin anything, and we don't want to ruin anything for you.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and play a jingle, which is going to allow you the opportunity. When the jingle is done, we're going to go ahead and get the spoilers. So if you're out there in Radio Land or in Live Land with us, and you don't want to hear any spoilers for WandaVision, we're going to go ahead and do them right after this song. What is it? Let me see. Tell me if it's No Square. Is that No Square?
I don't hear it yet.
No? Here.
Me there. This is my no square. No, don't touch me there. This is my no square.
We'll do it one more time.
No, don't touch me there. This is my no square. No, don't touch me there. This is my no square.
All right. That gives us a good about solid 10, 15 seconds.
You guys have been.
We are now going to get into WandaVision spoiler time. So if you're not down to hear it, go ahead and jump out. Kyle, thank you so much for jumping in. We totally understand, bro. Take it easy. Be safe out there. Stay warm. So yeah, in the last episode of WandaVision, Wanda needs to kind of have a me day, right? The time era that she's dealing with
is the 90s.
Is the 90s time, where she kind of like her kids are kind of playing video games and their video games are going haywire. Quicksilver, the character, is not around. They don't know where he disappeared to. And
also now she is now stated that that's not their uncle, and she does not know who it is, and to never listen to that man wherever he might be, because it's safe to assume that he's still in Westview, but that they should not trust him. What I think was really funny was the interview, the breaking of the fourth wall interviews. Very like Jersey Shore-ish kind of.
Yeah.
And I loved that aspect. Especially
it was cool.
For me personally, I loved the Vision ones. The Wanda ones were like, okay, like haha, kind of all right, whatever. But the fucking Vision ones I thought were hilarious. Like every time she like sets up another roadblock for him, and she's like, I know what she's doing. She's doing this so that I don't get back to Westview. And then like another one happens and it goes back to him, and he's like, I'm not amused.
It was literally her not allowing the Vision to come home.
You know,
it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I liked that they had that aspect going on. Um, but her her overall shtick, I think for me, it's kind of confirming what I've been thinking of is that the more she tries, the more she spreads herself out. And because of the more she spreads herself out, the weaker her powers are becoming because she's just exerting so much to keep the charade going.
Mhm.
And I think that's why her powers are fading. You know, like things are changing and she's trying to change them back. And, you know, that's what I personally think. I know that Agatha Harkness, who we finally get our reveal for, is, you know, more than likely behind it. But
Well, to a certain extent,
yeah. Well,
because
she's the one pulling the strings for certain events to happen the way that they are. And I like that. For me, I think obviously the coolest reveal other than Agatha Harkness was the birth of Spectrum.
that was I mean, we saw that coming, right? Like
Oh,
the idea of
obviously you and I did.
yeah,
You and I did. You know, because we know who Monica Rambeau is in the
yeah.
comics. We know what she's capable of. We know like what she's doing. I loved the monologue that her mother is giving her, you know, as she's pushing through the barrier and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I loved it. I thought that was so touching, you know, and it was kind of one of those like, all right, boom, and then she sees the electrical spectrum and as soon as I saw that, I was like, yep, there it is, the birth of Spectrum.
The birth of Spectrum. It was it's such a really cool way, the way Marvel is starting to introduce characters with powers.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a really, really amazing thing. Like the idea of like, okay, so Monica Rambeau pushes through the wall, right? There's almost like a shield, like it's now like almost a protective shield. But she ends up forcing her way through it. And while she's going through it, you're seeing all these different variations of her pulling away from herself.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why I think that's going on is because I believe that the nexus that they're inside of, each one of those timelines is an actual reality from a different multiverse.
It could. I really hope that that's not the thing.
But that's the thing. That's why she was able to focus on one and bring herself back together.
Yeah.
Because each one of those timelines is a different variation of them. And
yeah,
the thing is
but that still doesn't play into like what her powers actually are.
Well, no, of course not. But then again, it's like in the comic books, her powers are really never fleshed out in the right way because all these different writers got the opportunity to fuck up her powers so many times.
Well, yeah, but like the only thing that's ever been consistent is that like she's no longer a physical being. She is.
Yeah, well, of course.
She does not have a physical body. She's made out of complete energy.
Mhm.
She just maintains a physical body because she's made out of pure energy. She's everything in every spectrum ever. That's why she's called Spectrum. You know, like she's she can go into, and we've stated this before, she's actually gone into the universe where Scott Summers' eye blasts derive from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I forget like what universe that's called or what fucking dimension or whatever.
Yeah, I remember. It's similar to the Daredevil or Nightcrawler one.
Yeah, and that's quite like, I mean, she can survive there, and so she's like been there, and she's like, whoa, dude, that place is fucked up. But yeah, I mean, I digress. But the thing is that like I knew that they were gonna like make her Spectrum soon because Darcy was like, you've already gone through it twice. It's rewritten you on the atomic level. Like you have been changed. That's it. You've been changed. Yeah. And so when she finally goes in for that third time, you know, it's kind of like, all right, dude, you know, like,
yeah, you knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, her powers will still be very raw. I mean, she's got to be able to figure out what her powers are in general.
Yeah.
Like she still has some type of physical body in the way the TV show's going.
Yeah.
That's why I was really, really strong into thinking that Adam Brashear was going to be that character that they brought in.
I could have seen that to kind of pull her together and stuff like that.
Yeah, because his character is
smart
with
like
her when she first gets her powers.
Yeah.
So like when she first gets her powers and she's becoming vaporal and then she's kind of like becoming solid, like Adam Brashear is like her boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And he's
And
kind of like, hey, dude,
and they
you
fall in love, that's a thing, they have a love interest.
yeah.
And I loved that aspect of, the whole like of that aspect of, like her character and stuff like that. And, it's going to, I think WandaVision is going in a very, very, very great way. And I think like, obviously it's just been completely uphill since, episode 3. And, man, they are not stopping. Now that we have Agatha Harkness officially be, like revealed as Agatha Harkness, a lot of people are like, well, who's Agatha Harkness? Mm-hmm. And so like 30-second cliff notes. She was a mentor for Wanda. She is a magic practitioner. She is a sorceress, a witch. She did take care of the boys, of Wiccan and Speed. She was also the one to erase her memory of them. And she was
after they get taken.
Yeah, after they're taken by Mephisto, she removes the memories of them. And then when she gets them back, Wanda, when she gets them back, it's Agatha who essentially triggers her for the House of M storyline.
Yeah, and that's because Wanda actually kills her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when she ends up remembering that she had children, she goes to Agatha and she's like, tell me the truth. And Agatha's like, yo, sit down. We'll talk about this. And then they end up finding Agatha's dead body. Only to later on, Agatha comes back. She always comes back.
Yeah.
She also took care of Franklin Richards because she knew that Franklin Richards was going to be like this crazy fucking reality warping character. Yeah, she already knew. So that's the cool thing is like Agatha. I guess the idea would not be who Agatha Harkness is. It would be which Agatha Harkness this is.
Yes.
Because there is an Agatha Harkness that was part of New Salem. They brought in the Salem 7. She was working alongside Master Pandemonium. Like there's been other iterations where she is a kind of like a avatar for what's his name?
Yeah, I think she's more of a proxy for him, and I think that's kind of what she is here. Yeah, I'm sticking to it, dude. I really think that's what she is. I think she's a proxy for Mephisto.
Yeah, because we were talking about this earlier too. The idea of what Marvel's been saying is that they want to bring in Nightmare as the villain for the Multiverse of Madness. But the problem with Nightmare is he's such a really horribly written villain. And he's such like an easy pushover when it comes to battles.
Yeah.
Like there's really not much that, Nightmare can do other than put people into deep sleep and absorb their fear energy. I was even telling Trigger that there have been iterations of his character that have been written where he raped a sleeping She-Hulk. And
it was the red She-Hulk.
No, it was Betty. This was green She-Hulk.
No,
that's Betty why Ross. The daughter Daydream is like almost like a greenish color. Yeah, it wasn't the red one. It was prior. But yeah, then the Hulk ended up killing him. But he ended up raping She-Hulk. Like literally, it's even called rape in the comic. Which in my in my iterations of watching these films, I don't think that's a really cool way to be like, hey, let's bring in this villain. If you want to read more about him, check out this comic book. Like, where he rapes She-Hulk, who isn't in the films yet, but she'll be in soon. Yeah. So maybe we'll get a rape scene. I don't think that's a really good way to bring apart this character.
Yeah, and I really hope that that's not the case.
Yeah, me too.
But then again, like I said, man, I really do not think that Nightmare is the big bad.
Yeah,
He might be, he might be for Doctor Strange because he's a Doctor Strange villain, but I do not think that he is the leading bad for WandaVision.
Yeah, I don't either. I still kind of, there is a part of me that has been kind of like feeding the idea that dude that works for AIM is Ultron. Have you heard that theory yet?
No, that sounds so fucking loose.
So, there's a lot of people that think that the guy that's in charge of AIM is a life model decoy, and that he's a life model decoy of a guy who died or got snapped or vice versa. And that's actually Ultron. And that's why that they're keeping tabs on Vision, but they're keeping tabs on his vibranium body, not technically Vision himself.
Yeah.
They just want to know where the vibranium body is. And hence the reason why they went and grabbed all the body parts from the scene at the end of Endgame or Infinity War, when the body got blown up. Or actually, that didn't make sense either. Yeah, what the fuck? I didn't even think about that. So yeah, his body wasn't exploded. He was actually solid and they took it apart.
Yep.
So yeah, it kind of gives face. But then again, that's the whole thing about a lot of people aren't taking into consideration that AIM right now is, or Sword, my bad. Sword is Century Weapons, or what is it?
Sentient Weapons Observation and Response Department.
Yeah, which is totally different from the comic books.
Yeah, because it's Sentient Worlds.
Yeah. So like there is an idea that he's Ultron, and I don't want to believe so.
God,
but
I fucking hope that.
The reason why I'm saying this is because the voice actor that plays Vision or Ultron is credited in the show as being a part of the show. Did you know that?
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, on IMDb, the guy who plays Ultron is credited in the show, and he hasn't voiced anything yet. So,
wait, they're gonna really put James Spader in?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, that's Ultron.
I mean, I know who he is. What?
But of course, he has not come out in any of the shows yet. So could he be the big Luke Skywalker walk-on that everybody's talking about?
Oh man, that could be it. I think that it could be Doctor Strange.
That would, I guess safety-wise, I would think Doctor Strange, because that's the way it is in the comic.
See, I don't see James Spader in here on the IMDb.
And I knew it was up there a couple of days ago. James Spader.
Negative. He is not on the IMDb listing.
Oh, I don't want to play that. Yeah, I'll have to show it to you later, dude. But apparently he was on it for a while, and a lot of people posted about it, and of course showed that his face and all that other stuff was on it. Yeah, look, I'll bring it up right now. Share screen.
Yeah, I'm looking at like why.
So when you look at this, I'm sorry, it looks all weird. I don't know why it's flicking. Is it flicking for you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you go down here, he's right there.
Yeah, which is super funny because like,
there's the boy.
Yep. Because if you actually go to the IMDb page,
yeah, it's not showing there.
Yeah, he's not there.
Yeah, but he's there on the Google casting.
Yeah.
Which means they can't remove it unless Google gives them the permission. IMDb, anybody can edit it. So, yeah, so you got James Spader that's apparently supposed to be on the show in some way. Is there a possibility? There would not be a reason for them not to have him on, since they've already had Pietro. Yeah, if they brought in Evan Parker, Evan Peters or whatever,
yeah,
and then they end up bringing the other guy as the brother, that would be interesting too. Like if it ended up being where she ends up coming to like the recent times, right? Because that was the thing. A lot of people were very confused of why did they choose Evan Peters' Maximoff character, right? Pietro.
Yeah.
But the thing is if you go back to the age and the time period, Evan Peters' Pietro would be the ideal age in which they were at in that era that she's visiting.
Mm-hmm.
So like during the show, they're like in the 60s or 70s or whatever. Pietro would be that age.
Yeah.
So like that's why they ended up choosing that guy to be the actor of that part. Which, I mean, it makes a lot of sense because if you're going to age the boys and you want them to grow at a specific rate, there's even talks about them doing the showing the love interest stuff for Wiccan already when he becomes more of a teenager or whatnot.
Yeah.
Where they're already going to try to bring that into the limelight before the show ends. I feel like it's a little too early and they should let him flesh out as a character and not just force it down everybody's throat.
Yeah.
It's a really good opportunity for them to really build on a character rather than for us to just kind of just throw it at the audience, because people who don't know about that character aren't going to know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
They really won't. And that's why I'm kind of just like, yet again with the Nightmare character, nobody knows about him. Nobody.
Yeah.
I don't even like, I know very little about the Nightmare character.
And
And
we were
then like the only thing that I do is because like I just had to look him up today.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, man, we were just talking about that, how that's why Marvel plays such a really cool game, right? What I mean by that is, hold on, let me check this out real quick. I have to fix my camera. They play such a really good game with people when it comes to this, where they end up making it to where it's like, oh man, Master Pandemonium is going to be in Marvel Phase 4. Aren't you all excited? And everyone that doesn't read comics are like, fuck yeah, what? Look, I'm excited. Look at my Facebook. I said I'm excited. And all the people who read comic books are making faces like me and Trigger, where we're like, why the fuck are you bringing that guy in? Like, why that guy? Why that guy? Why that guy? Like, we ask the questions. And then when we ask the questions, people are like, nah, you're just hating, bro. You're just a comic book lover. And you just don't know because you don't read the comics. Blah, blah, blah. And there's such like a weird, like, fucking community when it comes to this. Like, I end up getting in a lot of stupid arguments on groups of comic book chats because there's people out there that are like, oh, yeah, man, I can't wait for Nightmare to come out in Multiverse of Madness. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because of what comic book? Like, yeah, because of what iteration of Nightmare are you excited to see? There was one of them that, like, the community can sometimes be very weird. But, like, it's like the thing that actually brought up this conversation. So at the ending of WandaVision, Wanda ends up going to Agatha's house, right? Or Agatha Harkness's house. And she's like, where are the kids? Because Agnes is supposed to be taking care of them. And she's like, oh, they might be in the basement. And when she starts going down to the basement, the vibe of the scenario changes. You end up getting like this, like,
horror-esque
Celtic ruin, witchcraftian, Lovecraftian kind of like cellar kind of lock in your garage kind of bad situation,
almost
right?
Puts the lotion on its skin, sort of.
Yeah, it puts the lotion on the skin kind of vibe. And you end up getting into this like weird cathedral that's under the house. And there's some stuff that's locked away in like they look like skulls and red lights. But then you end up seeing a book that is very important looking because it is glowing. It's glowing for some reason. But they don't make any explanation of what book it is. And then all of a sudden, Agatha comes out and she's like, hey, everybody, what's up? Actually, I'm Agatha Harkness.
Yep.
And I've been pulling all the strings. And then it kind of does like this cool like flashback to her fucking with everybody. But I don't think it's her actually. Because it's a guy who asks Wanda and says that she deserves it. On the part where she fucking breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And the person behind the camera ends up saying something. That's a guy's voice that's like, well, you kind of deserved it. And
well,
then she's like, what?
that kind of just goes into the whole thing that like if it's really her pulling the strings, then what's to say that she didn't change her voice or some shit like that? There's literally like anything that could that could account for that.
Well, I kind of feel like it's not just going to be her. I kind of feel like there's going to be several people involved. It'll be like the Salem 7, right?
Yeah.
It'll be like that where you end up finding out that Westview is actually New Salem. And these are all surviving witches from the Salem witch trials. And the thing that you and I were talking about, the book, right? What book do you think it would be?
The Darkhold.
And the Darkhold is which book?
The Darkhold is the book that in current events made Robbie Reyes into
Ghost Rider.
Into Ghost Rider.
And that's a very, very good call, dude. Because that book is very important when it comes to
Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, well, anybody of magic or anybody of witchcraft or anything like that in the comics.
Yeah. And another reason why I'm leaning towards it being that, and I know that this is such like a cheese ass move, is Rob Jefferson called it, dude. That man is my Bible. That man speaks my gospel, dude.
And what did he say?
And honestly, man, if he confirms it, then boom, I have it confirmed.
But what did he say about it, or what? He just said that's what he believes it is.
So he actually goes a deep dive into the book itself. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but the book. Oh man, because I'm actually starting to.
It's okay. It's okay.
So the Darkhold actually came out in Agents of Shield.
Yes.
And like I said, it's what gave Robbie Reyes his powers.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's the Book of Sins. The Cthulhu Scrolls. Some people. Some people think that it's like. Some people think that it's one thing, but it's really another. But it's basically like a grimoire. It contains a lot of magic spells. People who lose themselves are possessed by Cthulhu. It's also like what you were saying, like the Necronomicon. It's like essentially it's supposed to be like the Satan's Bible and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be the antithesis to the Book of the Vishanti. And for anyone who knows who the Vishanti is, the Vishanti are the entities that which give the Sorcerer Supreme their powers. Mm-hmm. And so that's why like I really think that it's the Darkhold. And because like it's all been confirmed that Doctor Strange is going to play some sort of part in the WandaVision storyline in some way, shape, or form. And he's supposed to be the one to like help Wanda fix her fuck up.
Yeah, and the reason why I think that it's I think it's literally just the Necronomicon, right? The Necronomicon was derived from small parts of lore from the Siratra Book of the Damned, which is the Darkhold, and patterned after it. The Darkhold was created by Sithon and the Elder Gods. And the only reason why I kind of think that this might be it was because there is a part that I read earlier, and it says, when Isaiah Crewin was denied the papacy, he extensively studied at a part of the Vatican Library, which housed the most complete collection of the dark arts, including the Necronomicon. The Scarlet Witch considered the book an abomination and mistakenly believed it to all copies long destroyed. What appeared to be Agatha Harkness at a time, however, stated that it would be really useful in helping Wanda with her demons problems. Doctor Strange also possessed a copy. So that's
and the Necronomicon is actually is believed to be an imperfect copy of the Darkhold.
Of the Dark Realm. And so, what's really crazy too is
very well could be the Necronomicon that she has.
And the reason why I say this too,
if they stick to like this, but who knows?
The cool thing is the Necronomicon in this one is also in alternate realities the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead. Yeah, and it's the Book of the Deadites. It's actually called the Deadites, right? Through the corruption of souls of demonic possessions, similar to the Ramis created in Earth 555. And the Raimis is actually created that way because of Sam Raimi, who happens to be the director of the Multiverse of Madness.
And the also original director of the first 3 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Well, he's the guy who created the Evil Dead, right? He also brought forth the idea of the Necronomicon creating the Book of the Undead, or the Sumerian Book of the Dead. So I think going into Multiverse of Madness, being that Sam Raimi is the director, it would be interesting that if this is what's going to start that film, that would be a alternate version variation of the Necronomicon.
Which I can see, like I wouldn't exactly call your hunch wrong.
And then not only that, but the Necronomicon is also the Book of the Dead, which was last seen in the Marvel Zombies comic book. So, and that's not even to mention that they are doing the what if of Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
So like it is
kind of like I said, it is plausible.
I think it's a really cool, interesting plot point to have, like something that connects all these different things. Like, is it a dude? The Darkhold would be an interesting book too, because then that's going to bring you the idea of saying, well, if it's the Darkhold, that's a bigger chance for Ghost Rider to appear in the darkness, the Multiverse of Madness, because everybody's talking about how they're hoping that Ghost Rider comes in.
Yeah,
and that would give you literally 100% of a reason to see Ghost Rider come out. But which one?
Yeah, the Robbie Reyes or Johnny Blaze?
Yeah, Robbie Reyes or Johnny. And right now, if you follow what's his face, Gabriel DeLuna, he's not really doing anything with Marvel right now. He's just chilling out. He's living in Austin, Texas, doing his awesomeness. Yeah, so I love that guy. He's super cool. Best fucking Ghost Rider iteration ever.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage, no way.
Can suck it.
Yeah. But I mean, would it be cool if it was a Necronomicon and they were just doing it because Sam Raimi's coming in? That would be very fucking cool. Because I love Sam Raimi. Who doesn't love Sam Raimi? And then being that he was the creator of the Evil Dead and bringing the Necronomicon back to life and all that stuff, it would be cool. It would be very, very cool.
I mean, like I said, dude, it very well could be. I think it's the Darkhold. It holds a more significant.
In the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it holds a lot more significance in the Marvel universe. I think that they're just probably going to gloss over the whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, because it's really seeming that they're kind of just making Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not canon. Which
yeah, I know, and that sucks, dude, because it was so good. We should do a discussion about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
but we'd have to watch it, and I don't want to rewatch it. I just want to watch the ending, because the first 2 seasons are not good. The only reason why I like the first season,
I thought the last 3 seasons were trash, but that's just me.
I didn't get to see the last one. I got to see when they went to the future, right? And they went to the future where the Earth is destroyed. Because Quake apparently destroys the planet, which I still don't understand that in the Marvel universe, where no one just capped their ass. But yeah, they end up bringing one of these kids from the Inhumans, and I forgot his name. The one that can make like rocks or some shit. But yeah, I think we should do an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. talk one day. I think it's a possibility to do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we even did we do an Inhumans talk yet?
We've glossed over them, but
I think we should do that also, man. We should put them both together, since they're both around the same thing.
Yeah.
Because like literally the only reason why I'd want to go back is to watch that Captain Hydra season. Like, I'd like to go back and watch that one. And then, of course, like the Inhumans one, when that one dude becomes what's that fucking Inhuman, the big guy?
I'm trying to remember, dude.
And then, dude, it was the Parasite one, though. We were just talking about the other day. What was the Parasite one we were talking about with that actor guy? The one where they're in space and they're like about to like
the Hive.
Yeah, the Hive one, dude. That would be such an interesting one, man. That really would to me. I would really love to do that. But But yeah, man, the WandaVision was a really, really good episode this past week. I didn't feel like I saw some people that were saying that it felt like a filler, but I don't understand where that is. It might not be as action packed as the last episode in the sense of all the shit that was going on. But I think
because this one
there was a lot of information, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, because I think this is just more like telling information. Like there was a lot of things to like finally get out, and it was needed.
Like you do have your baddie, right?
Yeah.
Like Agatha Harkness came out. If you're not familiar with Agatha Harkness in the comics, like
look her up.
She's a motherfucker, man. She's a powerhouse. She is a powerhouse, and she's this nice old lady. She doesn't really like throw vergazos because of her old age, but she doesn't need to because her magic is on par. She may not be as strong as Wanda, but she does know her shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert says, I thought it was going to be an hour long. Did they say the last 3 episodes were going to be an hour or so? Or who's telling the truth? I guarantee they're not going to be an hour long. Right now, you have to remember that it's probably this. The thing is the internet is such a horrible place to get information from right now. The same people that came out and said that there was going to be 2 episodes like 2 weeks ago are the same people that are out there saying that there's going to be an hour-long episode.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're not seeing it directly from Marvel, like, don't believe it.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for them to have to do an hour special. Like, there's just no reason. It's not on television. They already got their money's worth. They already filmed all of these things. There's no reason for them to be like, all right, guys, season finale, an hour and 20 minutes long for your. No, they don't need to do that. They put enough story. They put enough story. Us as watchers, we just want to see more. But if this would have gone down the way that it was supposed to, we would have gotten all these episodes. We would have gotten all these episodes in one big week, right? Or one weekend. They would have slammed them all in one day and let you watch them all. But because of the coronavirus and all the other things that are going on, they stretched them out. And right now, yeah, it would be totally awesome, though. Hell yeah, it'd be totally awesome. But if you think about it, what makes this cool is now that the WandaVision is coming to an end, the Winter Soldier is going to be coming in. And then from the Winter Soldier, the What If or whatever is going to come out. And then Black Widow is going to come out. So like literally every week, if Marvel plays their shit right, it's going to be almost every week of Marvel stuff. Like, where else are we getting that type of material from a franchise?
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. I mean, that's because, 2 years ago, we were supposed to be where it was going to be 3 Marvel films every year. And then, of course, coronavirus hit, no theaters, no nothing. What were they going to do? Now they're giving you material almost every week. That's impressive as fuck. That's impressive as fuck. That's super, super impressive. What else? Yeah, they released a new trailer for Winter Soldier and Falcon. They released another trailer showing the dance party in a museum with a bunch of badass paintings in the background. A little bit more of Baron Zemo hanging out at a statue of, I'm guessing, Sokovia.
Yeah.
A Sokovian memorial, right? So I'm guessing like the whole Madripoor is going to be a big thing, and it's going to be connected to Sokovia. I think it would be interesting if Sokovia brought in like a Doctor Doom. That would be interesting too, but I doubt it. But yeah, if you guys got an opportunity, go check out the new Winter Soldier Falcon trailer. Going back and rereading some of the Wanda stuff that I've been reading to kind of catch up on this and to see where they're pulling in information. U.S. agent's a motherfucker, dude. He's a big piece of shit.
Yeah, dude.
He's a big asshole, man. Like, he is the Captain America that, yeah, he's kind of Captain-esque because he follows the rules, but he's like the injustice version of Cap where he'll kill a motherfucker if he has to, if the government tells him to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big piece of shit. Yeah, like I was reading this episode last night where they introduced this vapor. I was telling you about it, where they introduced this vaporal character named Lore into WandaVision's life or Wanda's life. It's actually a little bit before the WandaVision series, or actually after, I think. And it's when she's with the West Coast Avengers, and Wonder Man's there, and Vision's there, and shit like that. So, and Lore is this multiversal character of her who needs a solid body to take in. So she's trying to get Wanda to give up her body, and she's gonna like destroy the universe and eat its magical powers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But U.S. agents there, and U.S. agents like apparently teaching Wanda her hand-to-hand combat, and he's fucking hardcore with her, dude. He's like, you better fucking block every punch I throw because I'm gonna hit you because I'm not teaching you to be a wuss. And then like later on, Wanda's like, well, I'm gonna go. I need to get away because like their base gets attacked by demons. So Wanda's like, well, I need to leave because she's gonna meet up with Agatha Harkness to find a book. And I was trying to see what book they were finding, but Master Pandemonium was there. He just got out of hell, right? And he wanted to get Wanda to get her back because she's in love with her. But like when she's about to leave, like U.S. agents like, nah, she's a fucking liar, dude. Wanda's a fucking liar. I don't trust her. And I was like, yo, bro, calm down. Like, just give her a day. She needs some shit. Like, you guys just got attacked by a bunch of random, like, hell demons, man. Like, she knows her shit's kind of raw. Like, give her a minute, man. Like, he's pretty hardcore, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so U.S. agent coming out is, I think he's going to be like a douchey, racist Captain America to Captain Falcon. That's what I really think they're going to go that route with him.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
God, dude, that's gonna be so fucking crazy, dude. Robert says, one thing I can confirm that there's a big ass cameo or something big that's coming, and they didn't want to spoil. Nobody knows what ever happened to Evan Peters and wants to spoil it. They're just keep it a secret. Blue Marvel, Wolverine, Magneto, Spider-Man. Who knows who will show up? I don't know, man. Triggs. Before we go, who do you think should be the Luke Skywalker walk in at the ending of WandaVision?
Oof. Magneto.
Magneto? You want Magneto to come out?
Yeah, dude.
Are you like half chub for it right now or what?
No, dude. Actually, you know, only because that they've introduced Evan Peters, they should. It would be very, very cool if they brought in fuck, dude, what's his goddamn
the younger one?
Yeah.
Oh man, you see, like that's the thing. Like, I want the older ones. Like I want Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Or like, but that's because I want
Michael
Sir Patrick.
Fassbender. I think Michael Fassbender would be fucking sweet.
But you see, like that's why I want Sir Patrick Stewart as the Charles Xavier, just to see his little bald head come in and be like, "Hello, Wanda. I'm here to help you. My name is Charles Xavier." I'd cry, bro. Instant fucking. I would shit and cry all at the same time.
Yeah, but I really think that James McAvoy would not at all mind.
Oh fuck no, dude!
Reprising.
Fuck no. I was just watching an interview about him talking about Charles Xavier, and he was like, "Bro, I grew up reading that shit. Of course, I wasn't gonna say no." He's like, "I know they were gonna shave my head in 6 years," and I was like, "Dude, well, when do you ever get the opportunity to play Charles fucking Xavier?"
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, "Dude, I fucking love this cat." For me, who do I think would be a really great Luke Skywalker walk in at the ending of WandaVision? Fuck, dude, that's a good fucking question, man. That's a really good question. Because I'm really torn, man. I'm really torn now that we were talking about it. Since we were talking about the idea of it being Ultron, I would love for it to be Ultron like stealing her children. And that's what drives her nuts and breaks the multiverse or some shit. But that doesn't make sense.
I can see that happening.
But like it doesn't make sense. Like to me, it doesn't make sense. Because it's like, then what do you do? He's not even a magic user. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A Magneto would be cool, but that would be the same thing as Charles Xavier. Fuck, dude. You know what? I'll throw a fucking super random one out there, dude. The Higher Evolutionary.
No one knows who he is, though.
he literally created the Maximoff twins.
Oh, I know, but like at the same time, and like
that's literally like the nightmare situation.
Yeah,
like who the fuck knows that?
And not just that, like he wouldn't be Luke Skywalker-esque. Like no one knows who he is. Like
no one would like Luke
Skywalker, they were like, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, it's like one thing if you see the wheelchair like rolling around, and then like you see him, and then
I just wanted to throw the most randomest character out there.
Or if you see the helmet like in a scene, and then you know Michael Fassbender picks it up and puts it on.
Hello, daughter.
You know, like, yeah, and like says like "Daddy's home" or some shit like that. I don't know.
No, I just wanted to see what your face was gonna be when I mentioned the Higher Evolutionary.
That's why I was like,
dude, you're gonna have to go back and see that as a clip. Dude, your face is just like, what the fuck? Because you know. Do you know how important he is to the Maximoff twins?
Oh, I do, and that's why I was like
so like for the moment you were like, I could see the light bulb. You were like, wait, does that work? No, wait, that doesn't work. But why? What the fuck, dude? That would have been random though. That would have been so hardcore. No, okay, so going back to it, I really think, yeah, mine would probably be Magneto or Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier only for the fact that when Wanda has the children in House of M, he shows up to be like, Wanda, I'm here to stop you. I'm here to tell you the children aren't real.
Yeah.
Like only to kind of get her back on the same mindset. And then it goes forward with the House of M, X-Men versus Avengers, or X-Men and Avengers team up to kill Wanda Maximoff, right? But it doesn't make sense to me for him to come out and do that because she has no relation to the X-Men yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Only that she's a mutant. The only other person I would think it would be Magneto, but for Magneto to show up with the brother from Age of Ultron,
that would be a huge mind fuck, dude.
And you know what I mean though, right?
Yeah.
Because that would reach the age to where they're at right now. And they brought in the Pietro just as a kind of like a callback. But then they bring, because that guy's already he talked about it a while back, where he was supposed to come out in Endgame or Infinity War. The actor came out in interviews and says that he went and filmed some scenes. And then they never used it. And there was a lot of talk of him being like an evil clone or something with red eyes or whatever. But if they end up bringing him back for the Madness episode, the Madness or Multitude of Madness, Multiverse of Madness, like that would make a lot of sense if you brought both of those actors in at the same time, the Michael Fassbender and this guy.
Yeah.
Because it would bring together those two age lines properly, where Wanda Maximoff and her brother are this older age, and that guy is the age that he needs to be Magneto in their life. So that would literally be my Luke Skywalker. But yeah, guys, in the comments, tell us who you guys feel you would be the Luke Skywalker, or you think would be the ultimate cameo that would come out at the ending of WandaVision, being that it might be an America Chavez or an Adam Brashear or a Hank McCoy. Anybody that you guys think would be the perfect cameo for the Luke Skywalker entrance. Guys, thank you again for tuning in and hanging out with us here on the Average Boys Podcast. We truly appreciate you guys. And we hope that everybody is safe. We hope that you and your families have been able to be somewhat in a lot better comfort than a lot of people have been out there. And we are praying for everybody that's out there. And we want you guys to be, if you need any type of help, reach out to us and we'll try to do our best to try to help you in any kind of way that we can. We hope you're being safe. We hope your electricity's on. We hope you got food. Tell someone you love them today. Triggs, thank you so much, dude, for jumping, getting on this show, getting some goodness going. Mortal Kombat's going to be coming out soon. You guys keep eyes out on that. We want to talk Godzilla soon, and we want to talk Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Triggs been reading up hardcore on that, so we are excited. And yeah. Guys, don't forget Attack on Titan's ending soon. And Naruto just lost fucking, what's his name? Kurama, man. Oh my God, that was so sad, dude. That was so horribly sad, but he sacrificed himself in a good way, so God bless him. God bless him. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys again next Friday, 9 p.m. here with the Average Boys Podcast on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Guys, we'll see you again. Laters.
Peace.